$9 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
ESPN New York is your home for the world champion New York Knicks. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Morning. I'm Carlin. He's Grassa. It is ESPN New York.
I didn't even know we were starting.
Oh, we're starting.
This is the kickoff.
ESPN New York YouTube channel is where you can watch the show, much to your benefit.
Yeah,
I don't know if you ever felt like you needed to see what's going on here behind the scenes, but you are seeing it. And let me tell you something. The background, dynamic. You would. I don't know what we spent on this studio space, but it is.
Well, we got to let everybody know, too, today's the day. I mean, because in approximately 24 minutes, there is the meeting of all meetings.
It's important to the audience to know that.
The meeting of all meetings.
They have scheduled a meeting specifically at 10:25 during our first break so that Dan and I can be there.
I don't know what it's about.
I don't know what it's about either, but I can only imagine they're set to give us a whole lot more money. That's what I would think. That's only my speculation that they have decided they specifically made it at 10:25 to center the announcement around something with us.
I'm holding out hope that it is indeed the brand new coffee machine, which we've all clamored for.
Are you upset with the regular coffee machine or the iced coffee? Because the iced coffee is a bit of a problem.
That's
now,
what
too.
I've heard. I don't partake. I usually bring from home. But, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are maybe kind of keeping their fingers crossed. That could be it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know.
What do you got?
What do I got?
Yeah, that's right.
I got nothing.
Give me something.
I'll ask you a question first and foremost. When did we move to, like, the Dust Bowl to where there's basically, like, tornadoes every single week now?
Listen.
Like,
guys,
what is happening?
Let's just preface this by saying the following.
Yeah.
We're going to do a lot of football. Is there a lot right now that's happening that is just off the charts entertaining? No. No, there's not. So I'm going to share with you just what was a nightmare as a result of this Dust Bowl where there are tornadoes now. My wife literally spent the last 24 hours in Newark Airport.
Yeah.
On the tarmac, in the terminal, you name it, she knows that place inside and out on a flight that was supposed to leave yesterday at 11 a.m., and it left today at 6 a.m. I'm sorry, it didn't leave today until 7:30 a.m.
Now, any travel credits provided with all the delaying?
There hasn't been much provided of anything so far.
A square meal,
here's the
anything?
Thing. I think they sent a meal voucher. But I am not going to pursue any of that until she has arrived at her destination and her bags are there too. Because the bags right now, as you know, you can track the bags on your app now.
Yeah.
With a lot of airlines, the bags are in two different places. One bag, I think, is connecting in Orlando, and the other bag is arriving next Thursday. It is a travel disaster. And for all the people that have been Newark, LaGuardia, all this stuff over the last couple of days, man, you have my sympathy. And we only live about 20 minutes from Newark. And I'm like, honey, I'll come get you. It was last night. It was midnight.
Yeah,
nothing.
close.
She's like, no, because I don't know what's going to happen with this plane. Yeah. Like, it was that crazy to suggest. I went and bought another ticket today at 12:30 in case she couldn't get out. So, I mean, she has spent a lot of I'm assuming that she used that voucher at an all-bon pan Do those still exist? I don't even know if they have. Or were they bought out by...
the Paneras have taken over the bread game as far as that's concerned.
Them or the Le Quotidienne Meridienne or whatever it is.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Quotidienne?
Are you a French speaker by
trade?
No,
even
yeah, I don't know what you're going with that one. But no,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know that the airport might have some more options now as maybe they once did, but it's not fun regardless. And look, a lot of people are getting screwed over because of the flights. We know that with the airport, but like legitimately, even like people's homes, like they're getting like ravaged because of this stuff. Trees falling on top of cars, houses, like it's no joke.
So if you're in a
when
flight,
did this happen all of a sudden?
I don't know. I have no idea. And it is, listen, I remember Hurricane Sandy and obviously how horrible that was.
Right.
But I remember sleeping in the basement when that happened of our first home and not really thinking that I had heard all that much damage in the neighborhood as the storm was going on. And then you go out in the morning and massive trees are ripped out of the ground.
Yeah.
And homes are just destroyed all over the place. I don't know what to make of any of it.
No.
But all of a sudden we're in Kansas.
That's where we are. And, maybe it's just a July thing. Like, hopefully, like, once we flip the calendar in a couple of days to August, maybe it'll be a little bit different. But, yeah, like, where does this come from? And I'll tell you this, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Tired of it. I'm sitting there watching, and I might have been one of the only two people in the state of New Jersey consuming this, or in the tri-state area yesterday. I'm watching Big Ten Media Day yesterday.
I was
on
there.
The Big Ten Network.
I was there.
Oh, you're the other person.
Yeah.
Afternoon session. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and all of a sudden, I got to put on like 5 lights in the room because it's pitch black outside at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, that's did you lose the DirecTV?
Yes.
That's why I got out of DirecTV.
But
it's not a knock on them. It's just whenever the weather goes horrible, Dan, I don't want to be alone with my thoughts.
It's the risk you run, but here's the best part about it, though. Like,
if I don't have a Barnaby Jones to watch, it's a problem.
The app, though, is great because, like, if the TV actually in the satellite does kick out, though, you get the DirecTV app on the old iPad.
Yeah.
Good as new.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah, so we got that.
That was not the case when
power.
I had it. So let's get to some football.
Yeah. Report day, or not report day, it's first practice
Camps are
day.
open. First practice today.
Yep.
What has your attention?
Well, what is my attention? We touched on it briefly yesterday. I think, like, you look at both of these teams, obviously there's anticipation for both. I think probably on a universal National Football League level, there's probably a little bit more optimism Giants related because of the John Harbaugh factor, right? But then you look over in Florham Park, and we've talked about this over the last couple of days. Like, on paper, I think the roster in Florham Park, top to bottom, is better than the roster in East Rutherford. But people don't look at the team as favorably because you have a huge question mark in the head coach's office with the Jets. And over in East Rutherford now with John Harbaugh being there, you've got a proven winner, a championship coach, a probably, in the discussion, future Hall of Fame head coach that in this day and age in the National Football League can take you a long way.
I understand where people are coming from with the coaching situation, and it's completely fair. There is only one thing that at the moment is keeping me from having an incredibly optimistic feel of the Jets season, to the point where I don't feel like doing this every once in a while, but sometimes I like to roll the dice and put myself out there and make a proclamation. It's not hot take. It's not any of that crap. It's just, you know what? I can build all this case. I can see where it's going. Yeah, I'm on board. And there's only one thing that is keeping me from suggesting that the Jets actually could be a playoff team. And that's the head coach right now. And
a little bit of the quarterback, right? Because we've talked about it.
A little bit of the quarterback, but I believe enough in the quarterback in just being manageable, in just being enough. That's all I want him to be, is enough. I don't think he's going to go out there and be the Geno Smith that I saw that looked completely lost in Las Vegas last year. Now, I think a big reason why he looked lost is they had one of the worst offensive lines you will ever see.
Ever.
And to the point where they had taken a running back, 6th overall with Ashton Genty. And when I tell you that guy's a dynamic player, he did explode against the Bears for like a 70-yard touchdown run. And at the same time was so much of a non-factor for most of the season that they couldn't get it going, then I have to provide a little more grace to Geno, especially when I see what the receivers were and that Brock Bowers was consistently hurt.
Correct.
Consistently hurt. So with all of that being the case, I have to allow someone the grace to have had a bad season just based on everything that was around him. And now you can sit there and say, Carlin, well, he's with the Jets now. What has you feeling so much better? If the Jets can stay healthy, I believe in the personnel that's here. I believe in a lot of the personnel that's here. I think what we're going to find out is that in the next 2 to 3 years, that Joe Douglas did a lot of good things, but Darren Muji has really taken it to the next level. I believe in the management of this team because I think the moves that have been made so far have been pretty good. Now, we don't know about the draft picks. We don't know if Kenyon Sadiq's going to turn out what I expect him to be or David Bailey or any of it. But what I know is they've been put in a position to succeed in relatively short order. So if the coach can just make this defense a little bit better and the quarterback can give them better quarterback play than they've had the last 2 to 3 years, I honestly would be picking them to make the playoffs, but the only thing that's holding me back right now is the coach.
The coach and the quarterback are the two most important aspects of the on-field leadership of a football team. I mean, the owner is a big part of it. Like when we talk about like the organizational structure, like who are the most important pieces, you throw the owner in there. But as far as the on-field, it's the coach and the quarterback. We know that. All the other things you said are spot on. Darren Muji, like that's why I think that a lot of people look at the Jets, and obviously I'm close to the situation. I've asked around that they may have come in as an advertised package deal. They're not a package deal, the coach and the general manager. They're not, okay? So one person's success is not necessarily tied to the others.
Well, I mean, we saw the same thing with Adam Gase and Joe Douglas, which we thought was a package deal because Adam Gase is the one that pushed for Joe Douglas to get the job.
Correct.
And then a year later, Gase was gone.
And Brian Daboll, Joe Schoen, a good example too, right?
Exactly.
We thought that Joe Schoen was as good as gone or should have been as
so
good
many
as gone.
times, like, you can't take that for granted anymore. When you think about that, they're a package deal. They're a package deal. Really? Well, if one guy's doing a hell of a lot better job than the other guy, they're not a package deal anymore.
I think when they both came in, though, and I think this is to be true, the first year...
Well, they hired the coach first.
They hired the coach first, and I think that the coach probably had a little bit more say. Like, I think
sure.
He was the one running the organization, essentially. I mean, Jesus, I know it's a freaking long time ago and there was other circumstances to play, and I know you laugh about it now, but for those who are around to remember, in 1995, Rich Kotite was running the Jets organization. They didn't have... The general manager they had at the time had fallen ill. Rich Kotite was making, like, all football decisions there for a while.
Leon Hess's exact quote in the Rich Kotite introductory press conference was, I'm 80 years old. I want to win now. Yeah.
Right. And Dick Steinberg, who was the GM, fell ill, and then he ultimately passed not long after. But so there was a time there Rich Kotite was running the Jets. You know, Bill Parcells, understandably so, then was running the Jets, but he had the resume to back it up. Point being, the general manager, you look at the job Darren Muji's done over the last couple of years, I think everybody would give him a passing grade and then some. Like, you look at where they are right now.
Oh, no, I think it's better than passing grade. Yeah.
They're in great cap space shape. A lot of youth on the roster. The draft equity... Let's face it. I mean, my God, what they have lined up even next year with the 3 first-rounders, a second-rounder. They are positioned that if they hit each and every one of these picks or whatnot out of the park, like this thing is going to turn and it's going to turn in a hurry. So he's done his side of it. Now you have to worry about what happens on Sunday when that ball gets kicked off into the air between the white lines.
I ripped Dave earlier today on the air because I'm sitting here listening to him talk about reading a headline from Jeremy Fowler about how the Giants brass thinks that Malachi Fields could be Plaxico Burress. Like, let's calm down.
Plaxico doing a lot of chirping these days. Have you seen Plaxico back in the
I
spotlight?
did catch his Jet comments, yes.
Yeah.
Real
quick on that, though. You know, he equated playing for the Jets in 2011, his 1 year with the Jets, to being in prison. It's the same thing. Plax, here's all I got to say. The 2 years before you joined the team, they went to the AFC Championship game in back-to-back years. Then you show up and they miss the playoffs. I don't know if you want to play connect the dots, but those are the dots that I'm connecting, okay? Glad to see you're doing all right.
All right. Well, that aside, what I'm going to say about Muji, I'm not going to say he's the next. I'm not going to say he is this. I'm just going to say what some of the moves have reminded me of.
Mm-hmm.
some of the moves have reminded me of some things that Howie Roseman has done over the years in Philadelphia. And I think universally, people acknowledge Howie Roseman right now is probably the best GM in football.
Sure.
Now, if we're going to be truthful about it, I could give you a list of 9 things that he either wanted to do or couldn't get done that would have had Howie Roseman out of a job 4 years ago. And that would include Howie Roseman wanted to trade up to get Zach Wilson. Howie Roseman wanted to do everything possible to get Russell Wilson.
So did John Lynch and the 49ers, by the way. A lot of people wanted the Zach Wilson.
But here's the thing. My point is, there is a degree of luck that's involved in this. But
Absolutely.
What does Howie Roseman do that other teams don't do? 49ers do it.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're saying.
He does not double down on a mistake.
Doesn't double down. He cuts his losses immediately.
When it's a mistake, let me get out.
Yep.
And let me maximize the return while I can. So I'm not saying signing Sauce Gardner was a mistake last season when they did it. But when they saw where everything was headed pretty quickly, and they had an opportunity where somebody else was delusional in thinking what they were. And when you're 10-1, it's easy to be delusional, okay? But when someone else was delusional in thinking about what they actually were versus what they are, and you capitalize on that, that says a lot to me about who you are. And I think that's the kind of move that you might look at it and say, well, he just gave him all that money. Why did you trade him away immediately? You know what? This is a pretty shrewd move on his
100%.
part.
And you saw I get the you-know-what eating grin every time I think about the Colts, and you bring up the Colts and what they did.
Yes.
Because I've talked about it. That's going to be their meal ticket, boy. Going into next season with that draft and their first-round pick. I don't know if our friend Ray can gobble up the sound yesterday from Chris Ballard, the Colts GM, at the pre-camp press conference. And he's a lame duck GM. And
I don't know how Chris Ballard's had a job.
You and me both. But they asked him, "Do you think you deserve an extension?" And he said, "No." He's like, "We need to win before I get an extension." Very honest, and you appreciate that. But he knows that the seat is a little hot there, and it should be in Indianapolis. And like you said, the fact that some team was willing to pay what they paid to acquire him, you know what? You do that any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Did you think? And this is an odd question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think that there would possibly be anybody, whether it was Geno or any of their other leaders, who might actually come out and say at the beginning of the year, we're going to be a playoff team? And the only reason I bring that up...
Did somebody, by the way?
No.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I was surprised, but I was thinking about it this morning on the way in when I heard some of what Geno had to say, and we'll hear some of that here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Just in the idea that what do I have to lose right now?
Mm-hmm.
This has been 15 years for this organization. This fan base has been starved, to say the least. If you want to say, all I'm doing is adding expectations and problems to what I'm doing, am I really? Is it really that big of a problem if I come out and say, you know what? Screw everybody else. We're going to be a playoff team this year. I don't care what anybody else says. I know what's in this room. I know what we have, and I would know what we're doing. And the only reason I say that is because the only other time people have really done that, and it's worked out with the Jets, would be the guy that said they were going to win the Super Bowl. I'm not asking him to be Joe Namath all of a sudden, but maybe it just sets a tone for camp.
I think so. The one that I think would be the closest thing that would surprise you of like what was said yesterday, and look, I think the jury is still out on Aaron Glenn as a head coach, and I think that if you ask the majority of the fan base, they still need to be convinced in a big way that he is indeed the right guy. DeMario Davis, who obviously he's one of those Aaron Glenn guys. Their relationship goes back years. That was one of the reasons why they brought him here, to be that veteran presence, almost like that player mouthpiece. He said there's 90 guys in the locker room that would run through a brick wall for Aaron Glenn right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true or not. That might be overstating things, but at least you now have somebody that is going to be that driving force in the... I mean, let's face it. There's a quarterback, Geno Smith. DeMario Davis is the quarterback of the defense, and you need that guy. They didn't have that guy last year. That was one of the things that surprised me, and I've talked to a lot of people about that this offseason, that usually when any coach comes in to a new program, they bring a few of their guys with them.
Yeah.
Guys that have experience. Like Parcells used to do it, right? Like surround yourself with guys that you've had over the years that can deliver
and know
your
what
message.
you want, know what your expectations are.
Set the example. They did not do that last year, and it didn't even occur to me during the season while it was unfolding. I think
they tried to get Carlton Davis at one point, didn't they, before he signed? There were a couple of those guys. They tried, but it didn't quite work.
But you would have thought you would have been able to. They just didn't bring in anybody. So now you have coaches that coached under him, for example, like Brian Davis, the new defensive coordinator. They had experience going back in Detroit, and they brought him over from Miami last year. He's the defensive coordinator. But DeMario Davis, David Omenyata, guys like that, just to name a couple. Now you have those leaders, which I think are going to be important for when this team takes the field and try to make sure that they're all pulling in the same direction.
Dan, I'll put it another way.
Yeah.
If the Jets don't make the playoffs, the head coach is going to be the reason. That's what I would tell you.
What if the quarterback play isn't good enough? And I agree with you about.
I'm telling you that I think all of the rest of it. When I say the head coach is going to be the reason, I'm also counting the defense in that.
And the defense was as bad as defense could possibly be last year.
So now, the superpower thing was a throwaway line. It was a dumb line.
Yeah.
It just, you shouldn't, where that line came out wrong is you can't say that when you tried to hire somebody else to have the job first.
Yeah.
But having said all of that, I think that's ultimately what the difference is. I won't sit here and tell you that I believe wholeheartedly 100% in everything about Geno Smith. What I believe is that he will play well enough to give you more chances to win than not with the weapons that he has on offense. The Jets will score enough points, in my estimation, if they're healthy, to win games. It's just, are they going to stop enough people, and how much of that is going to be about the head coach, and how much of that is going to be about the personnel on defense. The personnel's better. Personnel's better on defense, and they're a different kind of defense. They are bigger and more physical. So you would hope that would play a little bit of a role there.
And not only that, we talked about the skill position players that they have on offense and that talent. It's not bad at all. And if you had more of a proven, I'll give you an example. I mean, I don't know where you rank him. I'm just looking at him because his name is on TV. Where would you put? Would you say Baker Mayfield is a top 10 quarterback, or would you at least say middle of the pack quarterback in the NFL?
I'd say probably top 12.
Okay, 12.
Yeah.
If Baker Mayfield was the Jet quarterback going into 2026, you'd be pretty excited about this offense?
I would be.
Yeah, I think that's my point.
I'd be really excited.
And I'm not saying you're getting this, but if you get Geno 2022, 2023 Seattle, that Geno, closer to that, this offense is going to score some points, right? You look at the wide receivers, they got talent. A first-round pick amongst them now to go with Garrett Wilson and an ascending talent in Adonai Mitchell. The tight ends, you got a second-round pick, a first-round pick, Breece Hall, the complement of backs. The offensive line, pretty darn good. They're going to be able to score points. The situation in Vegas last year with the Raiders was as dysfunctional could be. Okay, you had a head coach who had to fire not one but two coordinators during the season. Chip Kelly's now wearing a hard hat overseeing construction projects at Northwestern. That's where he is right now. He's out of the NFL. Pete had two of his sons on the staff. Coincidentally enough, Chris, two of the areas that were god-awful and most responsible for their ineptitude were the areas that his sons were overseeing. But he's not going to fire his sons.
No.
You're not going to do that. And I drank the Kool-Aid. I thought the Raiders would be more professional last year. When I say professional, they'd be a 6-7 win team because of Pete Carroll. You have an adult and somebody knows what he's doing now. But it was a complete and utter disaster, and that's why he was one and done.
Here's what I'm going to ask you. With Geno, Baker Mayfield last year, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield last year, they went 8-9, all right? With the Bucs, started every game, threw for 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
And he was hurt last year, too.
And he was banged up.
Mm-hmm.
If you got that from Geno,
oh my gosh,
you'd be freaking thrilled.
You'd be thrilled.
But let me give you the couple of those years just real quick in Seattle. The first year was an amazing year, or the second year where he was the starter, where Pete came in and said, "No, you're our guy."
Yeah,
he was amazing. That was 30-11 and 4,200 yards. But I would take this season in a heartbeat. He was 8-7 as their starter in 2023. 65%, 3,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 picks. If you get somewhere in between that and Baker, that's amazing, and that would work very well. Last year through 17 picks, no offensive line. 19-17, 3,000 yards in 15 games.
What about his bad year in Seattle? Like the
21 and 15.
Right.
But threw for over 4,000 yards.
And they won 10 games.
Yep.
And he completed 70% of his passes.
All right, we've got a hard out here.
We've got a meeting.
Because the meeting's about to start.
Got a meeting.
Do I need to hit the post? In other words, for those who don't know what the industry lingo is, do I have to, at 10:25 and 38 seconds, must I be at break? No. But we are going to step aside for a moment. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Jet people, now, 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. What actually prevents the Jets from being a much better team this year? In your estimation, I think we'd all agree the roster is much better. What prevents the Jets from being a team that could compete for a playoff spot?
And you want to tease? We've got a day one injury already.
Carlin Grassa, ESPN New York.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity on the ice, Viking Pest Control brings the same level of protection to your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. The season may be over, but pests are always in play. So it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. And when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com, protecting your home inside and out.
This is the Michael K. Show.
Here's the one thing I think is the conundrum for Brian Cashman. If Judge doesn't come back, now doctors reportedly are telling them that he is going to come back. When that's going to be, anybody's guess. But if Judge doesn't come back, by making trades and using collateral to get players back to fill holes, are you throwing good money after bad? I think they can make the playoffs without Judge. I don't think they can win a championship without Judge.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. Plus, another study found Amazon Prescription Pass customers pay nearly 1/3 less out of pocket. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero-sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy-flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey, girl. I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Fans, arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 8th for the 78th Annual Old Timers Day presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. After the Old Timers Day ceremony and game conclude, stick around to see your Bronx Bombers take on Atlanta. Get your Saturday, August 8th Old Timers Day tickets presented by Fresh Direct at Yankees.com/tickets today.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
NBA champion, Finals MVP, Jalen Brunson. Describe the experience of what the last month has been like for you.
That's a loaded question. It's been a roller coaster, honestly. Obviously, once we won and everything was up high and everything was amazing. The parade and all of that, just everything after we won was just amazing.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Weekdays at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Talked about for the last 20 minutes about how good the Jets are going to be, and Dan hits you with going to break. Hey, guess what? Day one training camp injury. Thanks, buddy boy.
I didn't hit it with Aaron Glenn did, but no, thankfully it's not the worst case scenario. D'Angelo Pons, rookie, second round pick, strained calf. They think it's nothing serious, but just wanted to throw it out there.
But why do you have to do it like that? I know the tease. I understand radio, but why do you have to?
I think you answered your own question.
But I just laid out how everything is positive and everything is great.
Everything is positive still. Nothing. It's positive that it's not a serious injury. How about that?
Problem. I mean, listen. A year ago, we were talking about Justin Fields on day one getting injured.
That's a positive. I mean, the fact that we're talking about somebody else entirely.
Well,
great human being, by the way. But
who? Justin Fields?
Yeah, great guy.
Nice guy.
Great guy.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
How about that meeting, by the way?
All right, we got a new boss. That was our meeting.
We got a new
Williams
boss.
is the new boss running ESPN New York, and we're thrilled for that. Jersey guy coming back home from Chicago. Said he's rooting for the Sox for the rest of the year, so screw that noise, but whatever.
Still rooting for the Bears, too. They're going to get an L in week 4, by the way. Just saying.
With Grassa on the call.
Is that true?
I've heard that.
Nobody told me.
I believe that's accurate.
Nobody
Isn't it
told
true?
me.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
I got to start talking to you. You know things. You know things.
I do know things.
That's a good. That's funny. When are we going to get serious?
800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. I don't understand why I shouldn't be optimistic. I can't believe I'm saying this phrase about the Jets, because everybody goes with this. Everybody's going to sit there and fire back at me. It was because it's the Jets.
Right.
Because that's the Jets. I get that as an argument. And that argument, in a lot of cases, does hold some water. It certainly holds some water when we're talking about the Mets. It certainly holds some water for years and years and years, 53 to be exact, when you're talking about the Knicks. I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you a bill of goods that all of a sudden the Jets are going to turn into this year's Knicks. No, of course not. What I am saying is, if I'm going to look at this from a rational and just a completely objective standpoint, this roster, it may not be great,
right?
But I don't think it's awful. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people just assume that they're going to be this year.
Like I said, if you had, you could either or, dealer's choice. I'll give it to you. You substitute the head coach with somebody who's a little bit more proven, who maybe the fan base has more confidence in, or you substitute the quarterback who you feel a little bit better about and maybe didn't have a sordid past with the same organization, right? And oh, by the way, like what happened off the field like within the last month, which doesn't, add a lot to the confidence level. I think that there would be a little bit of a sunnier disposition about how fans view this team.
Let me ask you this.
Let
me just bring this up. I want to bring this up because
sure.
You're not the only one who has your sources in the building, okay? I know people.
You just
said it.
You do.
I know
people.
things.
You know people.
I know things.
Yeah.
I asked the question recently of someone in the building who, again, is not somebody that has any kind of what I would call an agenda of any sort.
Right.
I said, after last year, was this a year where the players are now looking at Aaron Glenn somewhat with a crooked eye? In other words, did Aaron Glenn lose anybody during the course of what happened last year?
Right.
And the answer was no. And it wasn't. The answer wasn't no because we're trying to be optimistic about where they're headed this year. The answer was, listen, there were a lot of things that went badly last season. The coach losing the locker room was not ever one of them.
That's a good point you hit on.
And I think that's an important thing because at the very most, when I have a season like that and my guys are still willing to listen to me and take me seriously, and I think a lot of that has to do with the kind of player that Aaron Glenn was, then that gives me reason for hope.
I'm very glad you brought that up.
You're welcome.
Very glad you brought that up.
I know things.
And here's why I tell you. Because last year during the season, I
talked to people in the know.
As this was all unfolding.
Yeah.
And it was bad. It was bad. And especially the last 5 games of the season, where you could say they didn't exactly put their best foot forward as far as a lineup out there to try to be competitive and win games. I think we know why in part. But yeah, I would just talk to guys on the team in the room, like everybody's still pulling in the same direction, huh? Yeah. Never got one. Look, I'll be the first to admit, previous years, previous coaches, regimes, there were more than a few eye rolls, if you know what I'm talking about, when things were going bad, okay? More than a few, blah, 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 here's what's wrong, blah, 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 blah.
When you come into the building and the coach is wearing a Baby Gap shirt?
How's Baby Gap doing, by the way? Is it
still
making
exist?
money? I don't know. Because I'm thinking, you got a baby. You going to the Gap? You going to Baby Gap?
I don't know. Sal's got like 12 kids.
But a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Boy, that guy can procreate.
But it looks good in a T-shirt.
Must be the oatmeal every day. The porridge for breakfast.
Porridge.
But no, like I said,
what is he, a little bear? Porridge.
Who's sleeping in my bed? A lot of times in the weight room for 2 hours at a time. But I didn't say that. So, but again, everybody was on board. Nobody was looking at this as saying, like, I don't have faith in this coaching staff or this regime. We're going to get this thing turned around. And I remember asking people specifically, despite the struggles, despite the lack of success, despite the ha-ha Jets, why is everybody still so steadfast? And they point to the fact that they believe what the guy's selling and the fact that he did it before as their words, not mine. He did it before as a player in that uniform and won. And they believe in him.
I think that not just that, but as I said earlier, the kind of player that he was.
Right.
Somebody that maximized his talents in every way.
Correct.
And his size. Because it's funny, leading up to the draft this year, I was really high on D'Angelo Ponds.
Mm-hmm.
But I talked to coaches around the league, position coaches, coordinators, and one coordinator said to me, please give me the last 5'8" corner who was a really good player in this league. And that was that team's argument. And apparently in their rooms leading up to their evaluation discussions, knockdown dragouts over D'Angelo Ponds because of the size.
Correct.
That's exactly what this player was in Aaron Glenn. So I think there is a high level of respect based on the kind, not just he was a player, but the kind of player that he was.
And look, obviously, like nowadays, if you're a smallish type corner that comes into the NFL, like Ponds, okay, you're going to just be pinholed a slot guy.
Right.
Right? And then you wouldn't expect them to maybe be necessarily as physical. They more get by in their speed than anything else. Remember about Aaron Glenn? Aaron Glenn was a guy who played on the outside. He was 5'8". He wasn't afraid to mix it up. He would get physical. There were corners that played bigger than him, that were bigger than him, that didn't want any part of contact. I mean, that was the running joke on Deion Sanders all those years. He might have been the best cover corner we've ever seen, but he didn't tackle anybody. The guy that they just got rid of last year for 2 first-round picks, despite the fact that he had some success in this league early on, he, as his career started to evolve, was not exactly the most physical corner. Sauce, that was one of the knocks on him. He whiffed a lot.
Okay.
A lot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, D'Angelo
I know,
Pons,
but I don't want to knock Sauce now because I think Sauce is a very good player. I just thought that they maximized a return on a guy that was already signed to big money.
100%, but the tackling left something to be desired. That last, I would say, the second half of 2024 and then the first half of 2025.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. But D'Angelo Pons is a guy who you don't just have to stick him in the slot. You could play him outside. What if he goes out there and if the Jets feel he's their best option as that other outside corner opposite Brandon Stevens and he's not the slot guy? That just tells you they maybe got something on their hands here.
Listen, I like him a lot. I think he's going to be able to help them. I still think Thomas would probably be in front of him, wouldn't he, at this point? Or Brownlee?
Well, Brownlee would be the other slot guy. If Pons plays on the outside, then Brownlee's your other slot guy.
Right.
But Azarie Thomas, Nashawn Wright, who they signed from the Bears, who had the 5 interceptions, although you could kind of dig into that.
You can dig into it, and the Bears forced a lot of turnovers last year. I think the most in the league. And if you're somewhat of an analytics person, you might want to believe in the idea of a number regressing to the mean. And so does that happen for Nashawn Wright?
Well, not only that, too. I mean, I think the NFL as a whole, all were kind of singing the same tune on him because why was he on the market that long and why did he settle for a 1-year, $3.5 million contract for a guy that, was at or near the league leaderboard for interceptions?
Yeah.
Right, where turnovers are so important. Those picks, I think a few of them came against, let's say, not exactly who's who quarterbacks.
800-919-3776. So what actually holds the Jets back this year from improvement? I expect them to improve. I expect them to be able to knock on the door around 7 or 8. I honestly do. And I know that's crazy to some people. But the even money bet on the Jets, I went to look right now, is 6 or more wins is plus 100. So in other words, the number for the season is 5.5.
This is going to be year 9 for your boy being a part of the broadcast.
I catch a 9er in there?
It's a 9er.
Yeah.
Year 9. You know what he's topped out at as far as a single season victory total? 7.
Wow. That's rough.
Yep. And by the way, they used to play 16, now play 17.
A couple of things I want to clear up here. Joey High Roller on the ESPN New York chat over on the YouTube. Carlin said the new boss is a Jersey guy who's rooting for the Red Sox the rest of the season and is running ESPN New York. That's solid. Actually, I said the Sox.
Yeah.
It's actually the White Sox. Yeah. He's coming from Chicago.
Yeah.
Our new boss, Keith Williams. So sorry that I wasn't clearer about that. Also, a couple of other chats. Let's see. Is Winthrop out? No. John Winthrop is in charge of the content.
Yes.
This is our overall boss who's running the entire station. So anybody who was concerned that John Winthrop might be gone.
Yeah, no, he's gone.
No, don't worry.
He's on vacation this week, but he will be back Monday.
Yes. And then finally, and I want to get more of these comments in.
Shout out to John gets a pop on the chat there. I like that.
There more than one.
Really?
Yeah, there were a couple that were concerned. Wait a minute, he's out? What's going on?
No, he's not out. Come on.
Yeah, no, he's not out. And then Soulful Dud. No,
Yeah.
Soulful Dude.
Okay.
But it's spelled like he's trying to make his own password with like a 0 and a 3 in there as an E.
Is that an ampersand in there somewhere too?
Coach Glenn, Geno, or the defense will hold the Jets back. Could you be a little more specific? I'm looking for a little bit more specificity.
Was this Cuddle Mary Trash? Little CMT Wednesday?
You know, I hit Steve Gelbs with that one time.
What, the CMT?
Except I didn't say CMT. I said blank, the letter, F, Mary, kill, Gary, Keith, and Ron, go.
Oh.
I did that on the air, and yeah, he didn't answer. I know what the answer was.
Need some time to think about that one.
No, I know what it is.
No, probably. Yeah, I think we know.
Calls 800-919-3776. What holds the Jets back? Carlin, Grassa. Plus, don't forget, yet another round of something that has been incredibly disappointing in my first 2 days of remember that guy from that team? We're playing it. Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Did you get your windshield fixed? No, this is a big process. I was scared that the whole thing was just going to shatter inwards. Right. And then I'd be cut with glass. I'd drive off the bridge. I'd be a news story. It's not funny. Why is this funny?
So if that were to happen, God forbid, why wouldn't you just stop the vehicle?
No, you keep going.
Hang a left turn 90 degrees and off the bridge we
Do you
go.
understand what shards of glass would do?
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
If that did happen, I would tell people that's how he would have wanted to go.
That's not how I want to go.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See him in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Orgavatazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
This is the Michael K. Show.
Here's the one thing I think is the conundrum for Brian Cashman. If Judge doesn't come back, now doctors reportedly are telling them that he is going to come back. When that's going to be, anybody's guess. But if Judge doesn't come back, by making trades and using collateral to get players back to fill holes, are you throwing good money after bad? I think they could make the playoffs without Judge. I don't think they can win a championship without Judge.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
I tell you, the whole thing's a sham. The whole thing. Life. It's a sham.
Oh, I mean, you could sit there and poke holes through it 6 ways to Sunday.
A couple of other questions here coming in. I don't know why this is about me, so I'm going to ask it. This is from Bart Carlin. Was it more difficult working for Imus or Francesa? Yes. Let's get to the calls. 800-919-3776.
That's a fair answer.
800-919-ESPN. Imus was tougher because you're getting up at 4 a.m.
Right.
And there would be times where I would climb out of bed. And I'm going to tell you right now, I was not that anybody cares.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a long time ago. I was a terrible fit for that show. I wasn't great at it.
Right.
Tried, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'd get up in the morning. My wife and I were just married. And I'd be sitting on the edge of the bed like, oh, God.
Like it's another day.
Yeah. And she would she wouldn't fully console me by, like, patting me on the back, but she would reach over with her foot and kind of graze my back like, here, there.
It's okay. At 4 a.m. It's okay. Now get the hell out of here.
I don't care enough to roll over, but I will reach my leg from this side of the bed and tap you on the back. Let's start with Tony in the Bronx on ESPN New York about the Jetropolitans. Tony, what's going on, bud?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. First of all, did you just say you survived working with Don Imus?
I was on the show for 2 years.
Oh, my God. All right. So you know frustration. Much
listen, it wasn't easy, but I will say it gave me an incredible opportunity, but whatever.
Okay. All right. So there's a couple things, 2 key things when it comes to the Jets this year, and I'm a lifelong fan. I want to see grit, and I want to see smart play and really like intelligent decision-making from our head coach. With that in mind, I think we'll have at least a 6-7 win season, but that's what I'll be looking for.
I guess my big question about the head coach is, where did we feel like he came up short in the biggest way last year? What needs to be, Tony, as you remember last year, what needs to be addressed?
Okay. The first thing, his body language on the sideline was unprofessional. I forget what game it was. We had
Tampa.
A kickback return. He went running down the sideline like a
You know what? I have no problem with that.
Cheerleader.
Like that's not a.
That was crazy.
Robert Saleh was hired because he was a freaking cheerleader for the 49ers defense.
Tony, here's the problem though. You can't please fans. I've learned you can't please fans because, like, for instance, like if you're going to sit there and say that Aaron Glenn was unprofessional in doing that, do you know how many times with when Robert Saleh, his last couple of years, how many people told me that they can't stand the fact that they show over in the sidelines and there's Saleh looking with like no expression on his face and looking like he's lifeless. So you can't have it both ways.
All right, so that's just one piece. But what about I want to see sharp play. Transitions between offense, defense, and special teams. There needs to be a certain rhythm to that where people are getting on and off the field properly.
Here's what you don't want to see. You don't want to see the offense taking a timeout out of a timeout.
How about that? That's not asking too much.
No. As you look at last year, where do you think that Glenn had to improve the most?
Well, I mean, there were a lot of things, right? I mean, game management first and foremost. I mean, he had some rough moments. I mean, that Denver game, most notably in London, which was a extremely winnable game that day. And, like, the defense played fantastic that day.
Yep.
But some of the decision-making and then the rationale afterwards when he was asked about it, and then when he didn't have the immediate, that's on me, I messed up, it took him a couple of days to have the come-to-Jesus moment. But, I think he got a little better in that regard as the season wore on as a first-time head coach. But then you can also say, well, late in the season, they had no chance in those games anyways, and they were putting a diminished roster out in the field. That was number one. There was a lot of people that, and I think by his own admission too, maybe the dealings with the media, how he seemed like to kind of like creating and picking his own fights where he really didn't have to do that. Remember like the secrecy with the quarterback each week and all this other stuff? And then
that started early in camp.
Started early, and then when people would pry, like, well, why? It's not because that's why, because I said so. Like, if you're Bill Parcells and you got Super Bowl rings or you're Bill Belichick, even though it's maybe not something you want to see, you can get away with playing that game. But if you're a rookie head coach and you're starting out 0-7, the media could be your friend in these situations. And they're only going to make life more difficult for you if that's the act you want to play. Here's the bottom line. Team wasn't good enough. on top of all those things, the team wasn't good enough. The talent wasn't good enough. Remember, Garrett Wilson was their leading receiver, and the last game he played was the London game, and that was week 7 in early October. And he finished as their leading receiver. What does that tell you?
It tells me they weren't good.
They weren't very good. That a guy who was signed off the street, then cut, then re-signed again during the season, mind you, ended up being voted the team MVP.
Yeah.
A special teamer. What does that tell you?
They weren't very good.
They weren't very good.
Justin, Tom's River, ESPN New York. Justin, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you, as always, for taking my phone call. Dan, you brought up a lot of great points. Obviously, Aaron Glenn with the roster last year, it was hard to grade him. But, like you said, with the game management and situations, there was a lot of times where you could tell he was a rookie head coach and was in over his head. But outside the roster, you have to like the direction the Jets are going in. You like the young talent that you're bringing in here. But, Dan, as a longtime Jet fan, like as myself, it's hard to get excited. We've had great defenses. We've had great players. It's all about getting this quarterback situation right. And the Jets have it finally set up for a rookie quarterback to come in here and be successful. You have a great offensive line now. You have weapons, and the team is starting to, youth and going forward. But the problem is we still don't have our quarterback.
Right.
So it's hard to get excited about this team. And, as a longtime Jet fan, obviously I don't want the team to lose. But the Jets need to position themselves to draft a quarterback. Yes, you have the 3 first-round draft picks, but you don't want the Jets to be in the position like the Giants were trying to trade for the quarterback and all the teams said no in front of them.
You might not have to.
At the same time, I want to see progression, but I want the team to be in position to draft the quarterback that they want to take.
You might not have to.
Carr, Manning.
Justin, you might not have to. I mean, what if the Indianapolis Colts have a horrible season this year? You got their first-round pick.
But do you think the Colts are going to be worse than Miami or
no, not that bad. But but see, it drives me crazy the talk about the draft. And I mean, now the draft is so far into the distance. I mean, we're sitting here talking about a quarterback. We don't even know who the quarterbacks are going to be.
Well, here's the problem.
We don't even know. Can we play college football?
When you were going into this past season, the assumption was that this previous draft was going to be jammed with quarterbacks.
Right.
And somehow 7 or 8 guys were all awful in one way or another.
Correct.
Or hurt. And so you ended up in a situation where you didn't have.
And Dante Moore didn't come out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or didn't declare for the draft.
Right.
I get it. And you know what? Guess what? At the beginning of this time last year was the name Fernando Mendoza. Forget about as a number 1 pick and a Heisman Trophy winner. Was he on anybody's lips to begin with?
No.
Nobody even knew who he was unless you watch Cal football.
I'm going to give you something to just chew on during the break. What would actually have to happen? What is there as a possibility that next year in April for the draft, the Jets don't have to take a quarterback? 800-919-3776. Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Do you know Sven? I do. Yeah, Sven Butenschon.
Nice.
You know him? He was on my team. Yeah, Sven Butenschon. Well, that's how you talk to Sven Butenschon. Not recently, but he's my buddy when we played here. So if you saw him walking down the street, be like, Sven, it's me, Rick. Yes. Big hug. Really? Oh, yeah. You know what became of Sven?
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Okay, girls, ready to go?
Yeah! Mom, I'm hungry. Can I have a snack? Me too, Mommy.
You want a snack?
Yeah!
Got it?
Children learn from our behaviors.
Mommy, can you open this,
All right, hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, here.
Thank you.
They learn what is okay from the adults they see.
Mommy, are you on your phone?
If you're a distracted driver, chances are they will be too. What kind of driver are you raising? Funded by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See them in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
Thanks again for taking me to the game, man. I can't wait to get in there. By the way, what's in the bag?
Oh, I bring my own hot dog and peanuts. Saves a ton.
Savvy. And what about the beach chairs?
Why buy seats when you can save big and bring your own?
We can't get in without tickets.
Tickets? What do you think the portable TV is for?
Don't save money pretending to go to the game. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
ESPN New York is your home for the world champion New York Knicks. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Bart Carlin, formerly ESPN New York.
Caught yourself there.
Yeah, it's still.
I know.
It's still kind of,
raw.
It's Carlin and Grassa on ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York YouTube channel at 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Also on the at the YouTube channel, by all means, go over there and comment in the chat. Spark saying, so the talent is different, but the one thing that remains the same is Glenn. So yes, talent-wise, that's promising, but how can anyone be confident with Glenn calling the shots? Well, this is my point. I think the only thing that holds the Jets back from contending for a playoff spot, and to be clear, when I say contending for a playoff spot, mid to late December, you're in the mix for a wild card spot.
Yesterday, I mean, like the thing that I always like to fall back on is the Thanksgiving. Like, are we sitting there on Thanksgiving Day cutting the turkey that we're talking about a meaningful game on Sunday still? You know, not that you have to currently be in playoff position, but you have a pulse. The game has meaning, and that's all you ask for. And a Jet fan hasn't had that in forever. They may have had it only one time in the last 10 years.
So if they're not in that position, I think the only thing that is holding, again, injuries aside, guys, like I get that,
right.
Okay? Everybody has them. I get that. The only thing in terms of the actual personnel of coaches and players that I believe that will hold the Jets back from contending for a playoff spot, in other words, being in it in November and December for whatever it is, the 7th spot, is the head coach and a lack of growth on his part. But I, personally, I was encouraged just by the fact of the things that I had heard specifically from my own intricate network of sources, that he had not lost the locker room at any point.
Nope.
Even though last year went as bad as it did.
Look, I'll play devil's advocate for you because that's why we're here, right? And I like to play both sides. That's what I strive to do every time we sit in this room. Everybody I think that was around would refer to the Rich Kotite 2 years as maybe the low point in Jets history, those 2 years.
I mean, it has to be.
Right? 95, they win 3 games. 96, they win 1 game. So 95, they stripped that thing bare. They were supposed to be bad. They were rebuilding an older team that had collapsed the previous couple of years. All right, they were supposed to be bad. What do they do when the offseason going into 96? They draft Keyshawn with the number 1 overall pick. They give Neil O'Donnell, a Super Bowl quarterback, a big contract at that time for a quarterback, okay? They upgrade. They signed Jumbo Elliott. They brought in another starting offensive tackle, David Williams. They signed a number 2 receiver in Jeff Graham. I mean, and a lot of other big names. They spent, they won the offseason, if you will, with a quick fix. We're going to be better next year. They were worse. They won 1 game as opposed to 3 the year before. And then the coach was gone after that, and in came Parcells, thank God. But my point is this. Just because you upgrade the roster and they're a much better team on paper, still doesn't mean it's going to lead to more victories. That's why it's still important for we're still in the fact-gathering stage with this head coach as he enters year number 2.
Absolutely. And as I look at it, though, and I mentioned this before the break, I'm curious as to is this even something that's even remotely on the table right now? What would have to happen for us to, a year from now, not be talking about the quarterback the Jets took in the first round? In other words, what would have to happen for the Jets to not draft a quarterback in the first round next year? It's really one of 2 things. Geno has the season of a lifetime where he looks amazing, and they can, if they don't believe in somebody, they put it off. Number 2, Cade Klubnik actually ends up playing a lot for one reason or another and shows a lot because he was somebody that the previous year was talked about as being one of the top quarterbacks picked, if not the number 1 overall quarterback. He was the number 1 recruit in the country back when he got to Clemson. And I do know that they like him, but, those are the 2 things. So give me a percentage chance that either of those 2 things happen.
I think it's only the latter.
It's only the latter.
Only the latter. The only way, let's say, whoever rookie quarterback, Klubnik would be the only guy. Because remember, Geno's 35.
Is Klubnik the backup this year? Or do you think there's one of those veterans that we talked about the
veteran.
other day?
There is, unnamed veteran at this point.
So you got Klubnik as the 3rd string right now.
To begin the season, yes.
Okay.
Now, the only way, though, that would, you said, prevent you from drafting a guy in 27, it's not going to be the Geno play because Geno's 35. If Geno goes out there and wins NFL MVP this year, you're still drafting because he's not the future. He's 35. You know what I mean?
Understand that.
He's 35. Klubnik, on the other hand, if he's forced into action for whatever the circumstance might be, and I'm talking you need a good sample size. You need more than half a season, 8 games plus.
Oh, yeah.
Of this guy playing really good foot, like what Brock Purdy did. You're playing above and beyond. You look mature beyond your years, which everything he says and the way he conducts himself, you would lead to think that. That would be the only way then you're not drafting a guy because then you must think, wow, I think we got something here.
800-919-3776. Our guy, David in Elizabeth, is up. ESPN New York. D, what's going on, dude? How are you?
What's going on, Grasso? What's going on, Chef?
Dave.
This is what I want to say. I'm happy that it's just a strain and nothing has been ripped off or destroyed or broken, so I'll take that. And last but not least, to answer both of you gentlemen's question, yeah, what's going to hold us back is Peanut Chew himself, Aaron Glenn. That's what's going to hold us back. You need the quarterback and you need the coach. I believe we don't have neither of them at the moment. 2027, we'll have what we need, in my opinion. But if it is somebody or someone to hold us back, I'm going to say it's Glenn. I know.
Dave, I don't disagree with you, by the way. You're well within your rights to think that because this is a very much what have you done for me lately society that we live in.
I cannot. Here's the thing, Dave.
Yes.
I can't sit here a year from now looking at another head coach again.
I know.
And we're going through the continued cycle. And Saleh actually made it longer than you would normally make it in those kind of cycles. But that whole idea, it's for you to say, I'm confident that we'll have that guy. I don't know how you can definitively say that when they haven't had that guy.
I agree with you 100%, Chef. We haven't had that guy. But I do have faith in our GM, and I think that hopefully if they move away from Glenn in 27, that he'll make the right choice, either bringing in Kevin O'Connell or a good, solid name and draft a good quarterback, and then we'll move forward from that. That's honestly where I'm at, Chef. And to be honest, I get it. It's low-hanging fruit. Oh, choose Aaron Glenn because he's failing. I get it. But I'm going to be honest. Where else do you want me to point, or where else do you want me to be like, hey, this is the problem? I'm going to be honest, it's him. I'm sorry.
You're
right. Let's see what happens. I don't want to wish him, bad luck, but let's just see what happens, fellas.
Dave, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And thanks a lot for the phone call. And look, there have been examples. The one that I like to go back to, think about how Zach Taylor's coaching career started with the Bengals. I mean, that guy, it was almost a surprise that he even got a third year because they won 2 games the first year, 4 games the second season. And I remember talking about it constantly saying, how does Zach Taylor still have a job? Like in this day and age where owners are very, very more, they're more inclined to pull the plug on coaches a lot sooner than they did in the past. Like, how is that guy getting year 3? Well, guess what happened in year 3? You had a healthy Joe Burrow for the most part, and he went to the Super Bowl, and that brought him a new lease on life. You know what I'm saying? So, and Joe Burrow, helped make that possible. So, Jets don't have their Joe Burrow right now. That's the problem.
Joe Burrow is a Seinfeld character's name, is it not? When you think about the cadence of it,
a little bit.
Joe Burrow.
3 syllables, right? Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
No, but you're right.
Joe Leo was one too, right?
100%.
Joe Leo is a Seinfeld character, in addition to the Joe Leo that we have.
Yes, absolutely.
They were having, just as a quickest...
Joe Davola.
I'll get Joe Davola, that's true. Crazy Joe Davola.
Yeah.
I thought of something, but I'm not going to sidetrack us. We're on a roll here. Lee in Long Island. Lee, what's going on?
Write it down.
Oh, I'm right. Lee, what's up?
Hey, gentlemen, what's going on?
What's up, Lee?
So you were asking before about what was Glenn's most glaring weakness, and I got to be honest with you. In my opinion, it was how unprepared the team was each week to start the game. Because if you look at their halftime scores, even in the games that they won, they were trailing by 2 and 3 scores at halftime and in the third quarter every single week. So in my opinion, I don't think there's much that's going to change in that respect. I hope it's better because you said you brought in Frank Reich and you brought in some leaders on defense. But I really expect that this year is a tank for Tomlin and march for Arch kind of season.
Boy.
My opinion.
Listen.
Here's the thing. Lee, let me ask you a question, though, real quick. If you're still there. Oh, we lost Lee. I was going to ask him.
I didn't drop him.
Oh, he
went on his own.
As a fan, though, before we even kick off the preseason, we've got 1 practice in so far in training camp. As a fan, despite all these things that are hovering around, how can you actually sit there as a fan and root and want for that to happen? And I know that there are some people that probably side that way. If I was in those shoes still as a fan, I could never, ever, ever subscribe to that. Now, I've said many times, for example, with the Mets, we've already played, 2/3 of the season. It's going nowhere. I think you would be well within your rights to just root for rock bottom the rest of the way. That will maybe bring about some change.
Yeah.
But we've seen already 100 games. You know what I mean?
You can only root for the tank when A, you haven't been there for 15 years, and B, that there is a true, tangible prize at the end of the rainbow, right? If the prize at the end of your Mets rainbow is David Stearns gets fired, then, okay, I get why you would want it to bottom out.
But let me, the other thing...
I'm not doing that with...
No.
I'm not doing that with a team that hasn't been in the playoffs for so long, and you want to try to sell me on we're going to go get our quarterback and we're going to get this one right.
How do we know Arch is it?
We don't.
Arch is not Peyton.
I do not have my sights set on any one individual.
There's not.
Now. The last guy I had that was like that was Trevor Lawrence. That was it.
And how does that panned out? Not even close to the Messiah that everybody made him out to be.
Not what they thought he was going to be.
He's middle of the pack.
He's
middle of the pack.
I thought he would have been much better.
He's won 1 playoff game, man. And
you know what I really wanted to do, but we were in the middle of COVID. Well, were we COVID? Yeah, we were COVID. That was 21.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to organize a Jet fan trip to a Clemson game toward the end of that year. It's crazy, I know, to even think about this, but a Jet fan trip to a Clemson game with a bunch of people wearing Jets number 16 Lawrence T-shirts.
It was that was 20. So that was in the heart of COVID.
Right.
Because in 21 he was in the league already.
He was drafted in 20? He was drafted
in 21.
Oh, okay.
Him and Zach Wilson were 1-2 in the draft. And then they played each other in a barn burner in December, which I called actually, that the Jets won in the
And then the Jets won the Rams game.
That was in 20.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't get Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, exactly.
But no, you just don't know. You know what I mean? I brought it up before.
There's no more tanking. That's I don't want to hear about it.
Fernando Mendoza, nobody, and we don't even know if Fernando Mendoza is going to be the real deal. But this time last year, nobody was talking, suck for Fernando Mendoza, tank for, nobody, come on. This, I understand it was a unique year, but, guy like Zach Wilson. Nobody knew who Zach Wilson was. BYU has a crazy season aided by the COVID and the cancellation and the schedule and all that stuff. He has a great year, and he becomes the number 2 overall pick in the draft. And as you said, if the Jets didn't take him, other teams that we consider to be run very, very well with astute football minds also wanted to take him.
They should have gone back and watched that Coastal Carolina game.
Chanticleers.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad game.
You ever seen a Chanticleer in the flesh?
I don't even know what it is.
It's like a roostery-looking thing.
I've been to Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, the blue field.
It's a bluish field.
Bluish, yeah.
The Myrtle Beach Bowl is the home of Coastal Carolina.
They pulled the plug on that one?
Not yet.
Didn't they pull the Bahamas?
This past year, they pulled the plug on the Bahamas one, I think.
Yeah.
I don't believe they. If they did, it was after this past season. But
it was
I don't
after
think
this,
so.
right? But I remember seeing something. One of those, it might have been Bahamas. Like it's going to be no more, and they replaced it with something else.
They pulled the plug on a bunch of bowls this past year.
I love the bowls for one.
I do too.
Like I will sit there and watch as many as I can.
I used to do one of those bowl pools. Now I can't do that now that I call games.
Correct.
But I used to do one of those.
I love a good bowl pool.
Yeah.
Love a good bowl pool.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey.
Love a good bowl pool.
The bowl pool.
Yeah.
Pretty sexy.
Dave in the car on ESPN New York. Dave, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? I want to just bounce something off you guys with respect to Geno Smith. I don't think people realize how awful the Raiders organization was. Lowest paid offensive line, Pete Carroll bringing in his sons as assistant coaches. Like, the team was really bad. If you took Geno Smith's 2 years with the Raiders and put him on the 2 years with Saleh, where the Jets defense is playing, the Jets would have been a playoff team. He threw interceptions, but the guy could still throw for over 3,000 yards. Why is everyone hammering this guy coming from the Raiders? When he left Seattle, he was
Again,
one of the hottest
you
quarterbacks
got to
in the
remember that when he left Seattle, he had a bad year in Seattle. That bad year was 21 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. 15 is entirely too big of a number. Entirely too big of a number.
But you could get away with it if the
You get away with
production
10.
then, the production though, I mean, like if you're, 28 and 15, you take it.
Yes.
But I've been preaching, Dave's preaching to the choir. I said the Raiders situation was so dysfunctional. But the difference is that you have so many other areas of this team that you're waiting to find out if it's going to be the real deal or not, that you would expect the quarterback to come in here, be plug and play, and you say, okay, he's going to solve all the problems we have. If you have a veteran team, you could say, yeah, we're good with that. But that's not the case with this team.
In moments, well, not moments, but very shortly, and I would encourage you to line up.
Yeah.
At 800-919-3776. You know that the morning show has long ripped off our segment. And by our segment, I mean me and Dan having just worked together this week.
Yeah.
They've done this for years. The frenzy of football we have coming up. You've heard of the football frenzy that they have in the morning show.
I'm a devout, what's the word? Subscriber to the frenzy.
And the football frenzy is simply you call in with any of your football questions, and we get to them, and we load them up, and we go right after it. And we're going to do that twice a week this year.
Let me ask you a question.
We do the frenzy of football. They do the football frenzy. Ripping off our bit, whatever.
I'm trying to play connect the dots here because this is the first I'm hearing of it. So you have to set the record straight for me.
Mm-hmm.
You say ripping off.
Yeah.
The frenzy was initially conceived. This thought?
Yeah, that's right.
This time.
We called it. I think it's rude that they would call it the football frenzy and like we're doing the frenzy of football.
So the frenzy of football predates the football frenzy.
That's what I'm saying.
See,
now whether or not that's true, immaterial.
Okay.
Immaterial.
Okay, you clear.
But I'm just saying that that's what happened.
Because I was going to say this has been a day. This has been a 12-hour stretch right now where there have been two things that have been brought to my attention for the first time on this earth that I didn't know before.
Frenzy of football.
Frenzy of football. And the other thing, what I sent you and we talked about before the show, a little pop culture from 1986.
Dan, when you work with Dan and you have a similar sensibility to his, you're going to get rewarded.
Yeah.
Because he's going to send you little things that he sees. And Dan sent a clip earlier today to me, and I did not know of its existence.
Nor did I.
But it's amazing. It is a clip from Miami Vice, the television show. I'm going to say this is circa 1986.
86. And by the way, give the site that made it aware to the world. It's this podcast is making me thirsty. Seinfeld podcast.
So obviously, on Seinfeld,
correct.
Podcast, yes.
At this thirsty is we'll give them their shout out.
Right. So in this clip, Bill Russell, the legendary Celtic,
the Bill Russell,
okay, is being harangued
on a boat.
That was on a boat?
That was on a boat.
I couldn't tell it was on a boat.
Let me just to confirm.
Okay.
It was on a boat. Yacht. I think was it?
He has a large gambling debt.
I think it is because there's a window.
And is indebted to none other than Michael Richards, who plays Kramer on Seinfeld.
Maybe
Michael Richards is playing the heavy.
Yes.
On Bill Russell.
The muscle.
Now, what I found the best part of this entire clip, Michael Richards is like 6'4", 6'5".
Yes.
He's incredibly tall.
But he's skinny mini.
So he is there yelling at Bill Russell. Maybe we'll play this clip. I think you should forward it to Ray. I think it's that worthy.
Ray, I didn't send it to you?
I don't know if you did or not.
That's horrible by me. I'm sorry.
But I think we should play this clip at some point. They have Bill Russell being intimidated by Michael Richards. Bill Russell, who is 6'9", but they have Russell sitting on the couch.
It's I don't like to.
And by the way, the Bill Russell acting is some of the worst I've ever seen.
I don't like to throw around terms loosely.
God rest his soul.
Even though I can exaggerate with the best of them. But I don't like to throw things around like this loosely. But when I tell you, even though this happened 40 years ago, which I can't believe it's 40 years, this might be the greatest pop culture crossover in our history. That's what I'm calling this.
It's up there. I mean, this morning...
You laid it out perfectly, though.
I'm not going to lie. I've had a rough 24 hours here trying to help my wife in every way possible. The dog is looking at me. I took her home last night.
But you and the dog don't get along anyway.
No, we do get along, but every 5 minutes, it's, hey, let's go for a walk. Maybe I'll fake you out and act like I got to go number 2 again. And then not do it after 35 minutes. She's doing that now. Like, I think now she's just taunting me.
Yeah.
She's like, you know what? I kind of have to pee. And she does this thing. She's very vocal about what she wants. She's like, arr! Or she will literally paw at me.
Yeah.
And smack
Give me the tap.
And I'm not exaggerating. Smack me in the side of the face. Hey, dumbass. Like, we'll do that.
Did this happen during the tornado yesterday?
No, it just started to rain as we went outside. Of course it did.
Of course.
When we got home. But with all of that going on, as I crossed exit 14 at the Turnpike and 78, really brought an incredible smile to my face.
How does it not?
Peter's on first take again. Did he get lost?
They must really be playing up this wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I just assume every time that he shows up on first take, he kind of just wandered into the room.
Well, he's not. Yeah, I mean, they don't have him on to talk about, Jalen Carter's extension with the Eagles and what it means for the rest of their defense.
What it means for the Commanders.
He wouldn't know Jalen Carter if he was sitting between the two of them. Oh, hi, Jalen. I'm Peter. You do what now? Are you who?
800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Now, we haven't heard any of this sound. I do want to hear from Geno Smith in some of what he had to say yesterday. We've got more coming up with sound from the Jets, some Aaron Glenn that you'll hear for the first time, and also Darren Muji, I believe, you said a moment ago.
Today. Yeah.
He's speaking just a few minutes ago. Here is Geno Smith and his opening statement yesterday, speaking to the media for the first time upon the opening of Jets camp.
I want to start by saying, I really feel like coming out of OTAs, I feel like we built some positive momentum. And, really, really happy with, where this team is right now. I really hate the fact that, something I was a part of could have been a distraction for, this team, my teammates, this organization, because a lot of hard work's been put in and a lot of guys have, put a lot of work in for us to be in a good spot as a team. I'm happy that, I'm able to put this behind me. I'm looking forward to moving forward and just continuing to build day by day with my guys. I really appreciate being a part of this team, a part of this organization again, and I look forward to just building every single day in training camp getting better as a team, getting better as a player, and continuing the positive momentum.
So this is the one thing that holds me back on Geno is just that. Like, he obviously went to Seattle and handled himself incredibly well, learned a lot out there. I'm sure the Vegas experience was a learning experience for him, but he seemingly, from my memory, didn't really cause any problems last year. It's all right. There's speeding tickets. There's a couple of them. Whatever happened, we heard some of the audio from it. I'm not getting that wrapped up in speeding tickets. Okay, let's keep it a nice flat line.
Right.
Let's just keep it a nice flat line this year, Geno. No bailing out on anybody's camps. No ticking it off the wrong person at the wrong time. Just flatline this sucker as far as not causing any waves or bumps.
Right.
That's it.
No drama.
No stupid drama.
Let your play dictate everything that we need to say.
Here he is on how he is viewing the opportunity with the Jets.
You know, God has blessed me to be able to play this long, and I view each and every opportunity, each and every day as a blessing. It's truly a blessing and a gift from God. And so every day I get a chance to go out into this locker room with my teammates, step on that field with my teammates, to be coached by, great coaches. I'm truly humbled by it. And so I don't look too far ahead. I know that there's a lot of work to be done, and I'm extremely focused on making sure that we do the right thing as far as the process goes and let everything else handle itself as I've always done.
I do think we look at Geno and have to factor in Frank Reich a little bit more. Now, Frank Reich was an offensive coordinator on a team that had to turn to Nick Foles to win the Super Bowl. And that was also a game, if you'll remember, that was not exactly a defensive battle.
It wasn't 10-3.
No, it was, 41-33 or 40, something
Brady
like that?
threw for over 500 in the loss, didn't he?
And Foles, I think, threw for over 400.
Yeah.
He was the MVP of the game. My point is that I do think Frank Reich can have a very positive impact on quarterbacks, because I'm not going to make him out to be Sean Payton, but certainly I think he's a good quarterback offensive coach.
He's experienced.
Yes.
And last year, remember, they went with
I don't think he's going to hurt them. The Cardinals, and I didn't even realize this until yesterday. You know who the Cardinals offensive coordinator is? Nathaniel Hackett. Holy crap.
I like him a lot. Great dude.
Maybe.
Great dude, but.
Maybe nice guy.
Right.
But come on.
Look, and the thing you say about Reich, he's experienced, but the devil's advocate aspect is, has the NFL game passed him by? Right? Because he's been out of the league a couple of years. Even his last couple of seasons in the NFL, even with the Indianapolis, the last turn, Carolina before he was let go, those offenses weren't exactly the greatest show on turf. You know what I mean? And then he goes to Stanford last year, and I know that he just was helping out a buddy, but the game passes you by quickly.
It does, but
it's always
even the Carolina thing.
I know.
I'm going to give him a little grace there with that, because first of all, I'm not convinced that he actually wanted Bryce Young, but I don't know that for a fact.
Here's my
and
I agree.
Tepper was
Tepper's
kind of a mess.
got some right. He's a guy who thinks he knows he made his fortune in football. He thinks.
Yeah.
The only issue with that, and look, I'm glad that Frank Reich is here and all that other stuff. That being said, I think most people that watched the Jets last year and were close to the situation will probably tell you that if there was a change to be made with either coordinator, for example, it was not on the offensive side of the ball. Because that was one of the things that you kind of thought. They were taking a chance with a first-time play caller in, Tanner
Eggstrand.
Tanner Eggstrand, thank you. Who was, of the modern game, the modern thinking. He was going to bring some concepts in that maybe were in line with the current NFL age of offense. I don't think there were too many Jet fans at the end of the season, let's put it that way, and said, we need a new offensive coordinator. I think Tanner got caught up in all those moving parts to the point where, remember, when the offseason began, he was thought to be sticking around as the play caller.
Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York, Frenzy of Football is on the way. I would advise you to get on the phone lines now, which all this is an easy little rapid fire. Get as many of your football questions in as we can regarding anything. Sort of football, not just the Jets and Giants. We haven't delved into the Giants as of yet. 800-919-3776. We're getting to all of that very shortly. The Frenzy of Football, the graphic for the Frenzy of Football is up on YouTube right now.
Is it really?
It is. Look at that.
I'm looking at the screen, but that's a little delayed.
Look at that. Frenzy of football.
Is that a Jefferson vehicle? Because I think Jefferson's here today.
Sure.
Is he handling that?
I think it is.
Jefferson's the
I think
best.
it is. 800-919-3776. Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York, plus a philosophical question that I came away from this morning. You listen to Rick and Dave. Sometimes you can come away with an interesting life question.
When you say philosophical question, like Plato, are we talking?
No, certainly not. I know 3 or 4 people who are getting married this year. And did Joe Leo get engaged?
No, the pressure's on though because he's been with his girlfriend a long time. He goes to a wedding. Like RJ used to be the guy that worked here, or anybody that I knew that would attend the most weddings in volume. RJ.
Right
now, Joe Leo's that guy. The guy goes to a wedding. It doesn't matter what country, doesn't matter what hemisphere. He'll go to a wedding once a month.
Yeah, and we've all been through those periods though where you have a bunch of weddings. But I would ask you this question, and ask you to think about it, having been someone who was married.
Mm-hmm.
Was there somebody in your wedding, not in your wedding, that in leading up to your wedding that you wanted to invite, but the kibosh was put on it by your significant other?
Ooh.
Or vice versa, or your significant other wanted to invite, and
Gotcha.
you put the kibosh on it?
Gotcha.
Because I did. I had a couple of those instances.
You got kiboshed.
I didn't get. Yes, I did get kiboshed.
You got kiboshed. You didn't put the kibosh.
Both.
Oh, both. You had 2 examples.
I didn't put the kibosh on somebody that she wanted, though.
Mm-hmm.
I put the kibosh on somebody that she thought we should invite.
Got it.
And I said,
but that's important.
Kibosh.
That's important. I mean, you're paying good money for this.
But
thing.
I want you to think about that. Like, it could be an ex, could be anything.
Yeah.
Did that happen with your wedding? Did you happen where there was somebody that you wanted to invite, but no, you were told no?
You know what did pop into my head about the wedding in particular? It was either within the last day or so. Like, I kid you not. I thought about if I was getting married now. Like,
would you do it?
That's another whole different story. No, not to the person. I mean, come on. I would be nothing without her. But my point is, the guest list would probably be either doubled or tripled because I know that many more people.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Think about this during the break, too.
Mm-hmm.
Are there people that were at your wedding that now you would go back and be like, why the blank did I invite?
Yeah, because there's people that I think I haven't spoken to since then.
ESPN
yeah,
New
100%.
York. Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
This is a test of the emergency alert system.
The summer of soccer is heating up with Red Bull New York. Join the Red Bulls on Saturday, August 1st as they take on Orlando City SC at Sports Illustrated Stadium. It's Hometown Heroes Night, celebrating the first responders, community leaders, and everyday heroes who make a difference across our communities. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m., but the fun starts at 4 p.m. on the Boulevard with 3 hours of pregame entertainment. Get your tickets today at NewYorkRedBulls.com.
Orgavatta Zona?
Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Did you get your windshield fixed? No, this is a big process. I was scared that the whole thing was just going to shatter inwards. Right. And then I'd be cut with glass. I'd drive off the bridge. I'd be a news story. It's not funny. Why is this funny?
So if that were to happen, God forbid, why wouldn't you just stop the vehicle?
No, you keep going.
Hang a left turn 90 degrees and off the bridge.
Do you understand what shards of glass would do?
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
If that did happen, I would tell people that's how he would have wanted to go.
That's not how I want to go.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. At Rings End, they're there to help realize your modern design visions. That's why they partner with Marvin. Engineered for big ideas, Marvin Modern Windows and Doors deliver effortless elegance, expansive views, and industry-leading innovation, all in a modular system designed to meet the exacting principles of modern architecture. Experience Marvin Modern at a Rings End showroom today and create something stunning with them. Rings End is a certified Marvin installing retailer.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 100 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. At UMGC, success is yours for the taking and the making, and nothing should keep you from it, especially not an application fee. Apply now and we'll waive your application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
You learn something new every day.
I told you, I'm not leaving this. I probably shouldn't leave this room with everything that I'm learning.
It is Carlin. It is Grassa, ESPN New York on the ESPN New York YouTube channel. The frenzy of football. It would be a good time for you to get involved at 800-919-3776. We're going to get to it in very short order. Your questions, rapid-fire fashion on everything football related. There's the football frenzy that they have on the morning show that they ripped off from us, the originators of the frenzy of football. But I was listening, speaking of the morning show, to Rick and Dave this morning, and they were talking about Joe Leo and, whether or not he is headed toward an engagement situation.
No, I think it's going to happen because I work with Joe a lot, and he's one of the greats. It's inevitable. And we've talked about it on the air. It's inevitable. It's like the next step. And I hate to put pressure on anybody. It has to happen.
So there was a discussion about, would you go to his wedding, all that kind of thing, if you were invited, that kind of thing. And it just triggered something for me. First of all, if you are getting married and you want to invite me, I would just say to you, I'm the perfect guest. Because there's a great chance I'm not coming, and I'll just send you the check. Because it's worth it for me. No offense to you personally. We better be besties for 40 years for me to show up at weddings this time. Or your incredible ability to guilt someone better be off the charts.
Ray I laughed because when we were talking about that, and Ray just said in my ear, do you think who was putting the pressure on Herbert to get engaged with beer yesterday? You think it was Jim Harbaugh? Hey, Jim. Jim was saying, hey, Justin, you better put a ring on that.
Better put a ring on that.
Put a ring on that.
Anyway, the point is simply this. there were people when we were going through this, and it made me think of the people that one of you wanted to invite, but the other one kiboshed. Or you kiboshed one from the other side. And I'm not going to mention names because I'm not going to hurt anybody. And
Right.
it's nobody of consequence anyway.
Yeah.
Okay? But there were...
That makes them feel 2 foot small, huh?
Well, they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are.
They may know who they are. Yeah.
No, they don't.
Okay.
One was one that I thought I should invite, and the wife put the kibosh on it. And it was not an ex or anything like that. It was just somebody tangentially in my life for several years at that point.
An associate.
And the wife did not like the vibes that the individual brought.
Over my dead body, essentially.
It wasn't quite that, but it was, I don't want that guy at my wedding. I don't want that guy at my wedding.
More like an I'd rather do without him type of thing. Like I'd rather.
Yeah.
It wasn't a non-negotiable. See, I didn't have anyone.
There was a kibosh.
There was a kibosh.
It wasn't like the wedding was going to fall apart.
That's what I mean.
If I had put my foot down and said, no, this person has to be there. It was somebody that I clearly was comfortable enough to, you pick your spots, and this was not a spot I was going to pick.
Imagine if there was like, you feel like when they pick teams, like the All-Star team, there's a commissioner's pick. Like everybody's allowed like one pick.
Yeah.
Like Justin Verlander was the commissioner's pick.
Right.
You get
Or
one.
commissioner's pick for the wedding.
You get a commissioner's pick, and the other person can't say squat about it.
Right.
Like you should have had those.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And so that was one, and I thought I should invite this person, and she's like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't want the vibes that person brings to our wedding. And then there was one that...
Or the things.
Yeah. No, that wasn't that one that I was just telling you about.
You know, like...
There was another one that she thought that we should invite. Someone one of us worked with. And I said, absolutely not.
Interesting.
Absolutely not. And knowing that that person in particular was going to feel a way about not being invited to this wedding when so many of their associates were being invited.
Like, why not me? Did mine get lost in the mail?
Yeah.
Like, why am I not on the list?
And part of it is because the things they would have brought. Or, I put it this way. We all have friends that in the party environment you do not trust to handle themselves right. And I did not trust this individual to handle themselves right in that spot. So those were our two kiboshes. Now, I look back.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember I worked on the Imus show at the time. And there was a woman who worked on the show. Her boyfriend. She was lovely.
Couldn't stand the boyfriend.
She had a horrible taste in guys. And with this one in particular.
Like a biker gang type guy or something?
No, this guy could be in jail right now. Could be.
So if you had, like you had to guess, jail, not jail, like you would go incarcerated all these years later.
60-40 probably free man.
Oh, 60-40 free?
But 60-40.
60-40 free because he served time already, or 60-40 he's never been
Might have
hauled
gotten
in?
away with it, or his crimes were not those that were big enough to have him away for a
Petty
long time.
crime.
Yeah.
Petty crime.
But enjoyed petty crimes. That he was at our wedding, and at one point, his shirt came off at our wedding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he tried to dance with Cheryl at one point, and she's looking, who the hell is this
She doesn't
guy?
even know who he is, right? Because he's the guest.
Basically, yeah, he was a +1. He was a +1. Like, if I could have thrown that guy out. We were close to throwing somebody out of the wedding.
Once it had gotten underway?
Yes, because
of behavior.
Well, what we did was we had yes, because of behavior. Ours was all in one place. It was at John's Pizzeria on 44th and Old Church. And
they do a mean grandma slice there.
No slices. See, that's how I know you're just making fun of me. They don't do slices.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just
they don't
giving
do
a shout out
slices.
to John's.
John's, no slices. If you knew that. Anyway.
Sometimes
we did.
Sometimes the slice is better than the actual pie. You know that.
This is true.
Coming right out of the oven.
Before the wedding, which was 8 minutes, still the greatest accomplishment of my life. The entire ceremony, 8 minutes
That's
long.
amazing.
And there were pizzas coming out of the oven 10 feet to my left and right.
And Rick DiPietro didn't officiate your marriage.
No, my brother Steve did. And he did a great job.
Wasn't another NHL goalie or something.
Yeah.
No.
But he, this, and I can't even really say, this would never get back to this person anyway.
Yeah.
But it was an associate of my wife's who we were giving out as people came in. It was January. Champagne and hot chocolate as a little pre-ceremony. No, Swiss Miss. What am I? You think I'm slumming it with Swiss Miss?
What's an upscale hot chocolate? I can't even name
Swiss Miss.
I can't even name another.
You think I got somebody in the back emptying packets and stirring it in?
I cannot even name another brand of hot chocolate.
It wasn't a brand. It was just made. It was hot chocolate. But it was a lovely thing. It was champagne.
What did you say?
Chocolate.
What'd you say, Ray?
I said Nestle's. You can't name Nestle.
Nestle, another one.
I mean, it could have been Nestle's, but a Swiss Miss. Come on.
Marshmallows, sans marshmallows.
No marshmallow.
Yeah, I agree.
Anti-Swiss. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah.
They're neutral, Ray.
At any rate, this person knocked back 5 or 6 glasses of the champagne within 20 minutes and was out of control immediately after the ceremony, to the point where my wife came to me and said, "You need to take care of this and get rid of him."
Like a Wolverine, just like completely unhinged.
Dancing with my mother-in-law.
20 minutes.
And my mother-in-law was very, this was not the kind of person that would be dancing with my mother-in-law. 20 minutes, just hammered.
She was more the Fred Astaire variety.
Hammered.
Yeah.
And, so I was about to throw him out. And he actually just was leaving on his own right before I threw him out.
Did you? Because
he was not there for a half an hour.
Did you have anybody at the place, at the establishment, who would act as, I don't want to say security, but
no, we actually had security.
That's what I mean.
And the reason we had security is that Imus had talked about I had invited Imus, I had to.
Yeah.
And he talked about on the air where we were getting married, specifically the actual location. And this as stupid as this sounds, people started calling up wanting to buy tickets
because they wanted to meet Imus.
And and they wanted,
And Imus showed.
No.
He didn't show.
No, he didn't show. He wasn't going. He was never going.
Did he give a gift?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Lovely gift.
That's what I mean. It's satisfactory.
Not cash, but a lovely gift. Went to the registry.
Like a vase?
It was a crystal something. Not cheap. That I can tell you. Definitely not cheap.
Yeah, but you know what? In that situation, I know you can't be choosy, but...
Did not go to the registry. I shouldn't say that because this would never have been on our registry.
Bed Bath & Beyond?
No, much...
Bloomies?
Bergdorf Goodman.
Bergdorf Goodman?
Yeah. Really
I would rather have the cash. If Imus is on the list, I'd rather have the cash.
Rather have the cash.
Like that crystal thing, whatever it is, do you still have it?
I have no idea.
That's what I mean. Like it's probably, I don't even know if it's been displayed. Too bad you couldn't return it.
It's not being displayed. It's not being displayed.
I think most people would rather have the cash.
Anyway, my point is simply this. You had nobody that you either threw out of your wedding or nobody that you put a kibosh on or any of that kind of thing.
No, but there was one that my wife was not necessarily all in on. This was a friend that I had had for years and years before I even met her. And it was never really her cup of tea. And then she was like, I don't know why we're inviting him. And suffice to say, she was probably in the right because it wasn't a good outcome. Let's put it that way.
Was not a good outcome.
No, not a good outcome.
Okay.
Yeah. And if I tell you exactly...
Is that the extent to which you want to address the situation?
That's the extent I want to address the situation, because if I say specifically like what happened, I think the person would know, and then...
Gotcha.
Because I think they were the only person that pulled this stunt.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ugliest scene you ever saw at a wedding?
Ugliest scene?
Yeah.
I don't think I've been subjected to too many ugly ones, to be quite honest with you.
Only one I can remember was a friend who got really drunk. He was the best man in a wedding.
Yeah.
Before the toast, just completely out of it.
I've seen ugly people at weddings, but not ugly scenes.
Might have vomited on his shirt.
Might have or might not have.
Might have.
Okay.
Prior to the giving of the toast.
So toast with vomit is what ended up being the reality.
On the shirt. And they gave him the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
as he was about to give the toast.
Yeah.
And he took the glass and he held the microphone up in the air and he started giving the toast into the glass. And he started the toast with a line from Caddyshack. A flute with no holes is not a flute. And a donut with no holes is a Danish. Mercifully, nobody heard it because he was holding the microphone straight up in the air.
So he knew what he was doing.
Yes.
He was an intoxicated genius.
Oh, my God. He did end up in the fountain later that night. So bad. So bad.
I have not thought collectively about weddings for a very long time until you brought this up today. Like just in terms of...
You know why? You know. I don't go to them.
Yeah, because once they're done, they're done.
And I can't tell you the last wedding I went to. No, I can. Sam Pepper. Sam Pepper was the last wedding I went to. Guy we used to work with.
I know. I love Sam Pepper.
Anyway, Bart Carlin, formerly Carlin and Grassa.
Presently.
Yeah. On ESPN New York, on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN, and also comment over in the YouTube channel as well. We get to plenty of Giants, and your Frenzy of Football is coming up as well. You might want to light up those phone lines because they're open right now. Anything football related, 800-919-3776.
This is the Michael Kay Show.
Here's the one thing I think is the conundrum for Brian Cashman. If Judge doesn't come back, now doctors reportedly are telling them that he is going to come back. When that's going to be, anybody's guess. But if Judge doesn't come back, by making trades and using collateral to get players back to fill holes, are you throwing good money after bad? I think they can make the playoffs without Judge. I don't think they can win a championship without Judge.
The Michael Kay Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to cars4kids.org. That's cars with a K.
Fans, arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 8th for the 78th Annual Old Timers Day presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. After the Old Timers Day ceremony and game conclude, stick around to see your Bronx Bombers take on Atlanta. Get your Saturday, August 8th Old Timers Day tickets presented by Fresh Direct at Yankees.com/tickets today.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Summer's here. People are outside walking more, traveling, going to games, barbecues, the beach, just enjoying life. But if you have joint pain, sciatica, or back pain is still holding you back, you don't have to live like that. I'm Bart Scott, and Dr. J. Shaw at Sandwell Pain is the real deal. Ivy League trained, double board certified with non-surgical treatments that get real results. No cuts, no downtime, no pain medications, just a smart, targeted approach that gets you moving again. Same day or next day appointments are available. Go to SandwellPain.com. Don't let pain steal your summer.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Frenzy of football coming in moments.
Oh, yeah.
800-919-3776. Lines are open right now for that. We will get to that shortly after 12.
Are you starting to feel football? Like, I had said I was having a hard time warming up to the start of training camp and everything, and I'm one of these guys that really likes the summer.
Yeah.
Like, I love football like no other, right?
Yeah.
But if it means rushing through the summer, I don't want to do that. Like, I like to squeeze every last ounce out of it. Now that camps are open and it's August in a few days, like I'm getting there. I'm starting to get the itch. And I don't think it's my sunburn wearing off or whatever. Like I have the football itch. It's happening.
I'm feeling it a little bit for sure. But I would say that I'm like you. I don't want the summer to just blow by.
Yeah.
And I feel like the summer already is blowing by.
Insane.
When the fact that we're at the end of July already. I mean, yesterday it was the beach bash, and that was July 2nd.
Right.
And that feels like it was yesterday. And now, here we are. But I am feeling football a little bit. And I think that's more because I've just been dying for football to get here. Like, I can't have one and not the other, unfortunately. Like, if we could start the football season in August and go through, I don't know, April, that'd be awesome.
Before long, it will be that long. You know that.
I know.
You don't think the league is going to stretch this thing out to March?
Oh, I know they will.
At the very least.
Coming this hour, football, Frenzy of Football, not the Football Frenzy. Football Frenzy is the ripoff. That's what you get in the morning. Frenzy of Football, that's coming in shortly, right after 12. Also after 12, we will be getting to, as we do each and every day this week, at about 12:25, 12:30. Remember that guy on that team.
As we've done each of the previous 2 days this week.
And I have been
it's a weekly staple.
Just atrocious at this game. But we are going to play it yet again today, where you have to name as many guys as you can. Because what do guys who listen to sports radio like doing?
They name names.
Naming guys.
They name names. Can I tell you, all throughout the day yesterday, by the way, I could not grasp that it was Tuesday.
Really?
It felt like, I said, how is it only
Tuesday has no feel.
No, it doesn't. Friday has a feel. Monday. But I thought it's got to be at the very least Wednesday. And now here we are on Wednesday, but I wonder what it's going to feel like for the rest of the day. It's just like it's a slow-moving week so far.
It is a very slow-moving week so far. That's what's weird. Summer has flown by. The last week and a half, last week in particular, interminable.
Endless.
Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York.
The summer of soccer is heating up with Red Bull New York. Join the Red Bulls on Saturday, August 1st, as they take on Orlando City SC at Sports Illustrated Stadium. It's Hometown Heroes Night, celebrating the first responders, community leaders, and everyday heroes who make a difference across our communities. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m., but the fun starts at 4 p.m. on the Boulevard with 3 hours of pregame entertainment. Get your tickets today at NewYorkRedBulls.com.
Tricon Construction is growing across New Jersey, delivering larger, more complex commercial projects with the precision today's developers expect. Because when the timelines, capital, and reputation are all on the line, you need more than a contractor. You need a true construction partner. Tricon brings experienced leadership, disciplined project management, and a team built around accountability and execution. From planning to completion, they build with purpose, professionalism, and pride. For serious commercial projects, build with Tricon. Visit triconbuilds.com. That's triconbuilds.com.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
NBA champion, Finals MVP, Jalen Brunson. Describe the experience of what the last month has been like for you.
That's a loaded question. It's been a roller coaster, honestly. Obviously, once we won and everything was up high and everything was amazing. The parade and all of that, just everything after we won was just amazing.
Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Weekdays at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hardworking partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
Shohei Ohtani's interpreter was fired today. Ippei Mitsuhara ran up gambling debts to a Southern California bookmaking operation.
The inside story of the biggest scandal in modern baseball.
He was absolutely bananas, the amount of bets he was making. I've never seen anything like it.
From 30 for 30 podcasts, this is The Betrayal of Shohei Ohtani.
Presented by Gusto. Episodes 1 and 2 available now. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
Harry Douglas here to help you ignite your taste buds with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Juicy cherry, citrus lime, and blue raspberry. It's that iconic freezer pop flavor, but with none of that guilty sugar aftermath. The perfect summer kick. It's delicious, portable, zero sugar energy shot bursting with flavor. Bring on the summer with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com and on Amazon.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
All right, this is the third hour. On this Wednesday, it is Carlin Grassa, ESPN New York at 800-919-3776. You might say to yourself, well, why is it my voice opening up this hour? Well, the simple answer, and I don't think we should have to tell any secrets. You got pop-up bageled. You got pop-upped.
Yeah, I did.
And that's okay.
They had pop-up bagels because we had a big meeting today.
Huge.
Big meeting where you found out we have a new boss.
The 1025.
Not with ESPN, but with our friends here at Good Karma. Great Keith Williams is our new market manager. And it was pop-up bagel worthy. I went to pop-up bagels. They opened one in New Jersey, as you know. I went to it last week. And listen, I'm a fan, but the prices, we're getting a little out of whack here. This is one of those bagels. You were telling me
that's insane.
I don't know if they shrunk the bagel. The bagel was never very big to begin with. 3 bagels, a schmear, which is basically it's between a quarter and a half pound of either butter or cream cheese. $15.
Now, let me ask you, there's a follow-up I have with that. And by the way, the place by my house today that I go to on the way in, 2 bagels, plain, nothing, $2.50 total. $2.50. Quality bagel.
And it's a quality bagel?
I still
or is
have
that the
one.
name of the place? Quality bagel.
No, it is a quality bagel. It's not named that. You want to see it? I still have one. I'll show you.
It's not a bagel from 4 weeks ago.
No, from this morning.
Okay.
Fresh.
Okay.
Fresh. You mentioned the schmear a lot. Like, because this goes on top of everything else. It seems like you go there often, like needing the schmear. Like, do you have any in your house? Like,
yes. But the problem is you can't just buy the bagels without it.
They don't sell plain bagels? Like bagels with nothing on them?
No. They sell bagels with nothing on them, but they sell everything in packages. The minimum thing that you can spend at Pop-Up Bagels is $15.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Because it's packages that they sell you.
You can't just go in
You know
for
what
like
it is? It's like cable bundling. That's what it is.
You can't just go in for like 5 bagels, for example?
No, you can buy 3, you can buy 6.
What kind of a scam is that? I'm out.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm out.
When you have the hammer, you swing the hammer. The bagels have been that good that they've been able to model it that way, and it's worked.
Ray brings up an outstanding
You know who's
point.
an investor in it? J.J. Watt.
Here's the thing. Ray brings up an excellent point. You had the John's Pizza, no slices. Now you're partaking in the...
Well, but John's is like a restaurant.
I understand. But like
you don't just walk in and...
You're doing a bagel place. Now where you're telling me that I just can't go in and get a couple of bagels? I have to, like, commit to the schmear and all. You know how much schmear I have in my refrigerator?
I understand this.
Like cartons of schmear.
Yes, I understand
Like they're ink cartridges for, like, a giant printer. I just have, like, stacks of these. And I say, why do we need them? He's like, you never know when you're going to need them. I'm like, okay, great. If we're cooking for an army.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand where your frustration comes with. But it's not a me thing, Ray, as Ray would want you to portray it to be right now. It is not a me thing, all right? First of all,
it's like you're getting mixed up with the places that...
First of all, can I have a little respect for the fact that I got married at a place called John's Pizzeria? Can we have a little respect?
There's respect
that there were
there.
pies coming out of the oven
Hot
as
and
I
fresh.
said, yes, I commit to you for the rest of my life.
Now, how did that work, by the way, when it came to, like, plucking down whatever it is you had to pluck down for the joint? Like, what were the conditions for the pies and the food? Like, you know, like if you go to a normal venue or whatever, for example, it's like X amount of dollars a plate, like for the guest.
Right.
How did it work for that? Like, what were the parameters?
So they had, at the time, this is 2007,
Okay.
had never done a wedding before, and they had flat numbers for an event where they've done big events before.
Right.
But they would have flat numbers. Like one day when we went to see it, there was a bar mitzvah going on because we wanted to see it when there was an event.
Or like a Christmas party or something like that.
That's actually how my wife came across it. She used to work at Sports Illustrated, and one year they had their Christmas party there.
Okay.
So they had flat numbers as to what they would charge. Now, because they had never done a wedding before, they were very excited to do that because, maybe this is opening up a new thing that we could do.
We could be like, you know, the wedding venue place.
You factor that in with us getting married at the end of January, and I'm not going to lie, we got a steal.
You got a sweetheart of a deal.
We really did. And so it wasn't necessarily a number per head, like it's $200 a head or $75 a head. It wasn't like that. It was just a flat number that you would say, wow, you bought out a restaurant in Times Square in New York City for that?
So it was more than just pies on the menu?
Yes,
like
there
the
was
other
pies, there was chicken parm, there was
stromboli,
pasta. All
maybe.
what they all offered.
Yeah.
Across the board. Open bar. The only thing they did not supply was dessert, which we did. We did cupcakes instead of a cake.
See, I like cupcakes. I'm more cupcake than cake. I like that.
I agree.
No, but was it like kind of like and I don't mean to, I'm just using it as an example. Was it like the Pizza Hut classic lunch buffet to where like...
There were not heating lamps.
No heating lamps.
Up.
And I wish they had the big
there was
red
a buffet.
glasses. No, that's what I mean. Like, so like you could go up and get, if I want a slice, I'm getting a slice. If I want a
chicken parm,
half
I
a
want some
chicken
pasta,
parm,
I want
I'm
some
getting that.
chicken franchise, whatever.
So it was all there for the people.
Yes.
It wasn't like somebody comes and takes your order. I'll have the chicken parm. I'll have
it was a
a
buffet table by table thing, but nobody seemed to mind because they're having pizza.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You take as you please.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. I like that setup.
Yeah, it was not. I mean, I used to frequent the Pizza Hut lunch buffet.
Timeless.
It was amazing.
Timeless.
But
I don't know why it's not here. And I know that like COVID, I guess, was the ultimate casualty. But now that we're like past that, why wouldn't you want that back? Like people go out for lunch, they go do lunch. Like, why wouldn't you want to do the Pizza Hut lunch buffet? It was great.
I don't know why you wouldn't. The only thing that would keep you from doing it is if you were going to get an afternoon carb nap. That was it. But
And I guess they don't have that many, like, old-school Pizza Huts now where you can dine in anymore.
Here was the biggest crime of my wedding.
Yeah.
You know how they always tell you, make sure you eat if you're the the husband and wife? I got caught up seeing everybody. Barely ate.
So you didn't eat?
Barely. The end of the night.
Yeah.
We're staying in the city before we go on our honeymoon. We're staying at the Grand Hyatt, over in, what do you call it, Grand Central.
They have a continental breakfast at least?
I don't remember. I don't know if they did. We had an early flight, so we didn't hit it.
Didn't partake.
But as I am leaving, my nephew is walking out with at least 6 boxes of pizza, of leftover pizza. Walking out with at least that much.
In January.
We go back. Neither one of us has really eaten because we're talking to people all night long. We get back. We have to order something to eat. Order room service. What do? I'll have a pizza. Order room service pizza from the Hyatt. We ordered 1 pie.
Yeah.
It's 2007.
Sure.
My wife orders a chicken quesadilla and 1 Pepsi. $75. Before tip.
Full pizza.
Yep.
Chicken quesadilla.
Yeah.
Pepsi. $75.
Not full as in, like, you walk into a pizza parlor and you're buying a 16-inch pizza or 18-inch pizza.
Well, like
no. I would say this is 14 or 12 to 14.
Now, at this point in time, did you know your nephew had the 6 boxes?
Yes.
So why didn't you just be like, hey, I'll take 1?
He had already walked out of the place and put them in the car and
he
gone.
Oh, I thought he was staying at the hotel as well.
He might have been, but I didn't even think of it at the time.
That was your answer. But then again, let's say you go back to the hotel. He's got the pies. Need a little heat up. What do you do then? Do you go to the hotel and you got like the kitchen or the restaurant at the hotel? I'm sure they have one at the Hyatt.
Yeah, but it's a massive Hyatt. Like I would never stay there because it was expensive, but it was a wedding night.
Yeah, right, sure.
But it was a massive place, and that's not like a hotel like that in New York City. You're not getting that done. Like if you're telling me I'm at the Residence Inn in Des Moines, I'm good. They're going to get me a microwave or one of their ovens or something. That's not going to happen.
The reason you bring up the bagel, though, like when I went out there during the break, our boy Jefferson, he was eating some lunch, and he was eating from a local taco establishment. And I was ready
to... Los Tacos Hermanos over here?
Sullivan's Tacos, he said. It's like a 3-minute walk.
Sullivan's Tacos?
And that doesn't go together, right?
That's like going to O'Doyle's Indian.
Thank you.
What are we doing?
But let me tell you something. I was ready, and I'm not usually like this guy. I can show restraint. I was ready to rip the damn thing out of his hand. It looked delightful.
It looked good.
A birria taco. He had like the Mexican rice on the side.
I believe it's pronounced birria.
Well, what are we doing here?
I'm just trying to show you.
What is this, sophomore year Spanish? When am I getting a grade?
Birria.
Huh? We're going to talk about El Banco next?
Can't roll an R?
Those words?
Rolling an R would kill you.
Birria. Jose Barrios. On the mend from Tommy John.
Carlin Grassa, ESPN. Yeah. Let's do a little frenzy of football, shall we? 800-919-3776. The lines are open right now for anything football related. I would encourage you to get involved right this very second.
Did you hear the new segment on Carlin on Friday?
They have the football frenzy.
They have the football frenzy. We have the frenzy of football.
They're saying the segment's so good, we want a piece of it.
Yes. It's the same.
They got the golden arches. Mine is the golden arcs.
But different.
They use a sesame seed bun. My buns have no seed.
Yeah, that's right.
A little bit of a disagreement with the McDowells, folks.
You can also send in your chat comments as well on the ESPN New York YouTube chat. 800-919-3776. Frenzy of Football is open. Isn't Pizza Hut bringing back the buffet? That from Soulful Dude.
Are they?
I had not heard that. I had heard rumors.
If they're doing that, we got to make a point to hit one up.
I haven't been to a Pizza Hut in a really long time.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah.
Not even takeout.
I thought they were going out. A couple of other comments here coming in on the football. Quarterback situation Jets. This from NYL. Quarterback situation Jets. What would it take for Klubnik to supplant Geno as the starter? In other words, by what week would Geno get before they actually turned to him? That would have to be a nightmare, first of all.
I think you're giving him probably till at least November. And 7 games eats up September, October. Week 8, November 1st, Raiders at home.
And that would have to look like what? That would
Week
have
7, Dolphins at home.
Yeah, that would have to look like what? 1-6?
No injuries. I don't think you're giving him a start, his first NFL start up in Foxborough in Week 6. Let's put it that way. You know, you're going to give him a little bit of a soft landing as you would any quarterback making his first start. So if it happens, I'd say he gets to about Week 7 or 8.
Okay, Steve checking in on the chat, also asking about the Giants.
Yeah.
Giants defensively, why would I believe they're going to be better? To me, the only reason that you're going to believe the Giants are going to be better defensively is if you are just believing in the coaching. Because Dexter Lawrence is gone. He did not have a great year last year anyway, and the Giants were god-awful against the run. Are they a lot different where you feel like they're going to be much, much better against the run? The only way I see that is when it comes to the coaching itself, Dan. If you believe that the coaching can change the mentality of a defense to be much tougher against the run, then this would be your time to believe in that.
100%. And you know, you and I don't know if we talked about it on the show yesterday, but there's word now that Vita Vea wants to be traded from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
You think about the Giants, where are they thin right now on the defensive line because you moved on from Dexter Lawrence. You didn't bring in like a suitable one-for-one replacement. Vita Vea is a damn good player, but is he a great enough player to justify giving up whatever Tampa would want in draft assets? Then you'd have to turn around and pay him because that's the heart of why he wants to be traded from the Buccaneers.
Would you have to be pay him long-term? Would you have to pay him a 2 or 3 year thing?
It would be a 2 or 3 year thing, but again, Tampa knows him as well as anybody. All right, he's 30. He's been fairly durable, but he's put his time into the league. I don't know how many more years he has left as being an upper echelon defensive tackle. And oh, by the way, I mean, he's good, but he's not like... His peak has not even been Dexter Lawrence's peak because Vita Vea was never an all-pro. Dexter Lawrence was an all-pro at his best.
Vita Vea has this coming year left on his contract.
But he wants a new one.
Right.
So he's not playing under that. You're going to have to rip it up.
Or you're going to have to rip it up. He's making $22 million. That's his cap number this year. It's $22 million.
And what is it going to what forget about the contract to satisfy him. What does Tampa want just to be able to get him?
But I listen, because of the age, because of all of that.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
What I would have to do is, like, if you're talking about a third-round pick, then we can talk about it.
Right.
But I'm not doing anything more than that.
No, and let's be real. Giants aren't winning a Super Bowl this year. That's why you go out and get a guy like Vita Vea at this stage of his career. A team like, let's say, the 49ers, and there's been rumors linking them because he's a West Coast guy, might want to go back home. San Francisco has championship aspirations this year. The Giants don't. Like, I could see a fit like that potentially, but I don't think it's right for the Giants at this stage where they're at.
Jimmy, Rockville Center, is up next on the Frenzy of Football. Jimmy, what's going on, bud? How are you?
All good, man. All good. Hey, Chris, I was actually at your wedding.
You were?
In security, and that was the best.
Oh, you were with
wedding
Julio?
I ever went. I was with Julio.
Oh, that's right.
Guys. Yeah.
Turn him up. I can hear Jimmy. You guys did an amazing job, but most of the time, like, it was not like a hard lift for you guys. There was no people breaking down the doors trying to get in.
No, but the potential, because if I remember, I misopened his mouth about the wedding,
Yes.
where it was going to be, and the potential of something happening is always got to be addressed.
Yeah, but you know what? I really appreciated that. You guys were awesome, and Julio's the best. I love
great.
Julio.
I wish I had the cojones to have a pizza party for a wedding, like, but my wife would never do, she would never put up with that, never in a million years. So, but it was a great wedding. I mean, I'm working, but I had a great time watching everyone. It was really a blast.
I appreciate
and
that, Jimmy. Good to hear from you. What's up, man?
Cool.
You're still in like half of our wedding pictures. If it's who I think it is, which I think it is, yeah.
It's like Trump giving out the World Cup
I'm
trophy.
a really 6'5" guy, yeah.
There's Jimmy, my in-laws.
But, so listen, I'm a huge Jet fan, and I've probably watched every minute of every game for the last, I don't know how long, going back to, Richard Todd. This team, the thing that gets me, and I love the optimism about the players on the roster, and we have all these great players. Man, I can't identify outside of Breece Hall and Wilson who our identity is. Like, what jerseys are you seeing from this roster at MetLife Field?
But I
don't see the option. I mean, I'm hoping to win 8 or 9 games. Oh my God, I'd be happy. But I just don't see it.
You're putting a lot of, to me, Jimmy, you're putting a lot of faith in the younger players. You're putting a lot of faith in Sadiq, who I think is a great talent. They're putting a lot of faith in guys who are
Omar Cooper Jr. is a first-round pick.
Absolutely.
Mason Taylor was a second-round pick last year, who Aaron Glenn talked up in the offseason, expecting a big step up this year.
And a good offensive line. And your identity, you mentioned Breece Hall, like that's going to be it, to run the football.
Adonai Mitchell's a guy who, remember, was a second-round pick just a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? An ascending player, hopefully.
Black Metronome checking in. Chris Dan Rothenberg says the Giants will win 8 games. I say they go 6-11. Is Dave delusional, or am I too pessimistic? I think Dave's delusional. I went after him on that. I think 8's a heavy number there. I think the number is more like 6 for the Giants this year.
Schedule's tough. I mean, that's on paper.
And then the other thing we haven't talked about is the Jets actually have a relatively easy schedule. I think they're 5th or 6th in the league.
And we talked about it yesterday, though, which adds to the Giants' case. The NFC is stacked.
Yeah.
NFC is loaded. You know what I mean?
Yep. Jonesy in Brooklyn. Will Breece Hall be on the trading block if the Jets don't get off to the start we're all hoping they will be at? I would be...
It's not going to be another Sauce Gardner situation where you sign him to an extension and then trade him 3 months later. It's different circumstances. If they didn't want Breece Hall on the team, or if they were looking to trade him, they just wouldn't have re-signed him.
They wouldn't have re-signed him.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
They have, like, they legitimately, and the head coach legitimately likes the player. Now, we all sat here with Breece Hall, and we have since he came into the league. Why don't they use him more? I know Bart was a big proponent, right? Like, Breece Hall, like, this dude is a top whatever weapon running back in the NFL. They should use him more. Maybe this is the year it finally all comes together. He was a 1,000-yard rusher last year for the first time in his career, but it didn't pop.
That number doesn't pop as much anymore, and it's also because of
the
season that they had.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you think about the most noteworthy play made. It was, I know he broke that big one against the Patriots when they were losing by 50 or whatever in week 17. But the play in Cincinnati when he had the running back, halfback option, when he threw for the touchdown, remember?
Nicholas in Yonkers, I do.
Yeah.
Nicholas, what's up, buddy? You're on the Frenzy of Football.
Hey, it's great. This is my first time making it through. I always hear about everybody so pessimistic about the Jets, right? But if you think about it, the Knicks went through a bunch of low seasons where they weren't winning until they finally pulled it out. So why can't we be hopeful that the Jets may go through the same thing and finally pull it out? Like, the season hasn't even started yet.
Well, the thing I would point to, though, there, Nicholas, is that the Knicks was a gradual process over a few years. It's not going to walk into being a championship team this year.
Knicks haven't had one winning season in the last 15.
Jets.
Yeah, I said the Knicks haven't had...
Oh, I thought you were saying the Knicks haven't had... I'm like...
No, because you said
they've had several.
He brought up the Knicks. Like, why can't...
No, the Jets have had one winning season in
correct,
the last
and that's why there's a big difference.
And they didn't make the playoffs that year.
Right. To your point, the Knicks have been building to this, and look, I mean, it's the NFL. Like I said, like last year, nobody would have... I wouldn't have believed if you told me the Jaguars were going to win their division and have double-digit wins, right? The New England Patriots were going to have the turnaround they had in 1 year with Mike Vrabel there. I wasn't necessarily a big Ben Johnson guy being able to lead a team, and look at how well the Bears did last year. And there's countless examples. So, yes, you go into a season as a Jet fan or any fan and you say, why not us? Right? It's the rallying cry.
LG 337 on the ESPN New York YouTube chat. Vita Vea will cost you a first. Well, then he's not going to be
That's
a Giant.
my point. Like, Tampa's not just giving him away. He's still a very let's put it this way. Tampa is closer to winning this year than the Giants are. You know what I mean? So Vita Vea would help the Bucks more than the Giants. They don't want to trade him.
No.
This is a player-driven demand.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would not look at their...
And Vita Vea is a freaking beast.
He's a really good player. But I would not. I'm not giving up a first or a second round pick for him at this juncture.
When this story broke
I do
a
have to
couple
pay
of
him.
days ago, and I look, I would like if we played a game last week, was Vita Vea an All-Pro? I would say, yeah, you're damn right. I was shocked he was never an All-Pro.
He's never
yet.
an All-Pro.
Never an All-Pro.
That's surprising.
Pro Bowler twice, but never All-Pro.
Is it possible that we and I hate to put it this way, maybe we just get him confused sometimes with guys like Haloti Ngata. Vita Vea is a great player.
He's very good.
He's a very good player.
Haloti Ngata should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Haloti Ngata is a Hall of Fame player. He was that good.
Ngata.
Did you ever call him that by accident?
Not
Ngata?
me. No, because I watch football.
Oh, okay.
From?
Who called him Ngata? Haloti Ngata went to Utah? Oregon.
He was a Duck.
Oregon.
Close.
Vita Vea went to Washington. I remember that.
Correct.
Let's see here. And then listening to Dave and Rick talk Jets is extremely brutal. That from Justin Brooks. See, I don't agree with that.
But why?
Rick's a huge Jet fan. What you don't like is Dave's giant presence tends to
Overrides a lot.
overwhelm
Yeah.
quite a bit, which is why I got on him this morning about the fact that it's day 2 and he's reading Malachi Fields is playing like Plaxico Burress. Like, come on.
The other thing about Rick is Rick's fandom of the Jets has reached its exhaust point. Like, Rick is fed up, which
Yeah,
I think a
and I
lot of
understand
fans
that.
are. Like,
He's far from the only one.
The losing, I think, has gotten to Rick a lot.
Yes. And understandable.
Rick's not willing to play along anymore or to give them the benefit of the doubt or to say this could happen. Rick's like almost done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Rick is at the point where I'll believe it or I'll believe it when I see it.
I'll tell you right now, the Jets are going to win more games than the Giants. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, Bob. But like I said,
I said it.
Baby
the Jets
steps.
are going to win more games than the Giants.
Baby steps.
Now, a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Jets have the better personnel, but I cannot argue with the mentality that the head coach is going to bring and how that's going to change and improve the Giants. I actually think the Giants, because of what their schedule is, could win 6 games, Bob, and be a better team. Like, you can have one of those situations where they may not show that many jumps and wins, but they can actually be much better than they were last year.
And that's the thing, right? Like, we've talked about this because the people that I talk to, there's no set number. There's not an edict in that building. Got to be 6. Got to be 8. Improvement is the operative word.
On 880, Mets baseball coming up in just moments. On the ESPN New York YouTube channel, who did that guy? Who, remember that guy?
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to cars4kids.org. That's cars with a K.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. Plus, another study found Amazon Prescription Pass customers pay nearly 1/3 less out of pocket. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity on the ice, Viking Pest Control brings the same level of protection to your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. The season may be over, but pests are always in play. So it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. And when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com, protecting your home inside and out.
Miller Time.
People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See him in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Empower. After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he could be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Kenny here to help you ignite your taste buds with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Juicy cherry, citrus lime, and blue raspberry. It's that iconic freezer pop flavor, but with none of the guilty sugar aftermath. The perfect summer kick. It's a delicious, portable, zero-sugar energy shot bursting with flavor. Bring on summer with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
You're listening to 880 ESPN and the ESPN New York app.
Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York. ESPN New York YouTube channel. We're on the app, and we are on the YouTube channel right now. 800-919-3776. Also, all of your comments over there. Mets baseball over on 880. They, of course, have a doubleheader today after the rainout yesterday.
Oh, that was the Mets. That was the lead into the pregame show. Yeah.
That was them. All right.
And I told you as soon as we went to break, I had completely whiffed on the fact the Mets were playing this afternoon. Completely whiffed. That's on me.
Would you be surprised if half the team had whiffed on the fact that they had we had a day game?
That's a fair point.
Holy crap.
That is a fair point.
Wow.
Marlins won last night. 12-game losing streak is over.
Oh, we did it. We did it.
Oh, they actually won. They've won the last two. I forgot. So that was the
Here
night
comes
before.
the streak going the other way.
Look out, baby.
Here come the Marlins.
It's happening.
So here's the deal. All week we've been playing this game. What do guys like to do? Name random players from teams in their history. So that's what Dan and I are doing.
I love this game.
Oh, remember that guy from the team? Let's name him.
With the Santa Claus intro, which I think is priceless, and it was unintentional, and sometimes the best comedy is unintentional, like the Santa Claus intro.
It's right there. It's right there. And so with that in mind, Ray Dinahan will pick a team, let's say from the mid-'80s on, in the tri-state area, and we will take turns going back and forth, naming as many players from that team as we can. You get 3 strikes. A strike is obviously a wrong answer. A strike is if you double up on somebody that's already been mentioned. And a strike is if you cannot get an answer in 10 seconds. This is not like Stump Rothenberg, which, by the way, this morning I'm listening. Dave must have taken 3.5 minutes on one answer. Like, come on.
Sometimes you just got to take a knee when you got to take a knee.
I wanted to give myself a little grace here and say, you know what? Let's make it 20 seconds. Give ourselves a little more time.
Ray, any chance we could do some obscurities like the 94 U.S. soccer team?
Well, the last 2 days, we have done the 1996 Mets.
Which was
and
tough.
we have done the 2006 New York Jets.
Yeah.
So how are we going to rig this for Dan again today since he is now 2-0?
Oh, no. There is no rigging of this one for Dan.
Like you could say that the 2003 Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and there's a good chance Dan's going to beat me anyway. Anyway.
You know what? We might have to pull one of those one day because, like, he would obviously know. I would probably know, but like the real bad years, sometimes the viewing wasn't as religious as maybe it should be for a fan.
We'll save that one for the social.
The social.
Let's go with...
Oh, boy.
E-Dub Games checking in. Oh, time for Carlin to be crushed again.
Oh, no.
What you tossing this game? Do not
No, but I said
patronize
I said
me.
I was going to go back to the catcher.
Yeah. Charles Hudson.
I don't remember Charles Hudson.
This is one that I'm kicking myself over because this is my kind of name right here. Lee Guterman.
Lee Guterman, that is a great one.
And the last starting pitcher was Richard Dotson, who I don't remember.
Dotson?
Made 29 starts.
Richard Dotson?
Yeah.
Not Richard Dawson.
Dotson. Tim Stoddard. Hippolito Pena.
Hippolito Pena, remember that.
Dave Island.
Dave Island, the pitching coach.
Yeah. I love this game.
Let me tell you something. I'm almost more mad at myself.
That you didn't blow me out?
That I forgot a
You
lot
did
of
blow
these
me out.
names, but they were there. Like,
Yeah.
there was names that were in the bank at some point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they were in the bank. Maybe they've been withdrawn, but they were in the bank.
Hal Morris.
He was Hal Morris before he went to the Reds?
Was a Yankee. 23 years old.
And then he went to Cincinnati, and then he platooned with Todd Benzinger at first base.
And a 40-year-old Jose Cruz.
Jose
former
Cruz was
Astro.
a Yankee?
Briefly.
Remember Jose Cruz Jr.,
Yeah.
son of?
Yep. Jose Cruz? Yeah.
You're
Is that
good.
who he was son
You're
of?
good. You're good.
Carlin, Grassa. A disgusted Carlin.
Oh, I'm disgusted.
ESPN New York.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Do you know Sven?
I do. Yeah, Sven Butenschan.
Nice.
You know him?
He was on my team. Yes, Sven Butenschan.
When was the last time you talked to Sven Butenschan?
Not recently, but he's my buddy when we played here.
So if you saw him walking down the street, you'd be like, Sven, it's me, Rick.
Yes. Big hug.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You know what became of Sven?
DiPietro and Rothenberg. Morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
You know the feeling. That rush when you reach that goal, make somebody brag a little back home, that's success. And at University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why UMGC offers an accredited skills-based education that helps move your career forward. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus build your skills in leadership, communication, and critical thinking. Explore more than 100 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. With affordable and online programs, you can unlock new opportunities to help you succeed again. At UMGC, success is yours for the taking and the making, and nothing should keep you from it. especially not an application fee. Apply now and we'll waive your application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Hey, the New York Red Bulls take on Orlando City SC. That is Saturday, August 1st, Sports Illustrated Stadium with kickoff set for 7:30 p.m. Celebrate Hometown Heroes Night with Red Bull New York and be among the first 10,000 fans for an exclusive beach towel giveaway. For your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets, you can enter now at ESPNNewYork.com or through the ESPN New York app. Don't miss Julian Hall and Antoine Griezmann when the Red Bulls host Orlando City SC Saturday, August 1st. Secure your seats at NewYorkRedBulls.com. Last night, Mr. K raised some eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
This is Michael K. And Joe Girardi on the Yes Network broadcast.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure exactly how it starts, but it has to do with Michael K., his tea, and his glasses.
Let's talk about what you did last half inning.
Please.
All right. You asked for tea. Okay.
Hot tea.
Hot tea. Not sure why. I don't know if you're cold.
My throat's a little sketchy right now.
Oh, okay. And Jennifer was nice enough to give you your tea and your equal. And you steeped.
Right.
And then you added your equal.
Yep.
That dissolves.
Not necessarily,
And
Joe.
you stirred it with your glasses.
Right.
I don't know. Do you call it an arm on your glass?
Yeah.
Your glasses?
Yeah, this part.
Yeah. That
you know
was your stir.
Because Jennifer, our stage manager, who was nice enough to get me the tea, did not get me a stir.
It dissolves.
It does not. You have to stir it. So I used the eyeglasses. And you were offended by this, Jennifer.
Where did you go to school? You didn't take science classes, did you?
Oh, I did. I went to the Bronx High School of Science. I could see from your face, but it was an important part of the game. You were really upset. You were a little. We have a replay of it.
Yeah. I mean, I wish it would have been honey you were stirring, so it would have stuck to your head when you put it on. That's the first. And then you wiped it. Now, where did you wipe your hand? On your pants?
No, it dried.
The laws of physics don't exist in your house, do they?
You have to stir, and it was Splenda, not equal.
That's a first for me. I've never seen anyone do that. That's why I was taken aback.
If we work together another 10 years, you're going to see it a lot.
I'm going to see a lot or see that a lot?
See that a lot and see a lot.
I have very strong feelings about this. Very.
Let them be known.
And Ray can appreciate this because I receive an unfair amount of, I'll say the word crap, specifically from one person in particular that I hold near and dear to my heart. Greg Buttle, about my coffee preparing habits during the football season when we're together all the time.
Yeah.
Now, Ray witnesses this as well. And Ray we have a running joke that, like, whatever Greg says, like, Ray just goes along with because he's Greg.
Right.
And so if it's, like, piling on me, like, Ray will take Greg's side. You know, we laugh about it, ha, ha, ha. But I am very anti-stirrer when it comes to making a coffee.
Yeah.
I need something with more substance, i.e. a spoon. A spoon is more effective than a little plastic paper stirrer thing, okay? So Greg is always, can I get you a spoon? Do you need a spoon? So I can appreciate where Kay is coming from, that he wants something to stir the tea with. So I'm more on his side. Where I disagree with Michael is you're using your eyeglasses that, like, you have them behind your ear, like the arm of the, like during the, like, especially in the summer, it's hot. You get sweaty back there. They're probably dirty, and you're putting that in your tea that you're going to drink?
Well, let's get an explanation. Explain yourself.
Well, first of all, I can't believe this is it's rocketing the nation. People are talking about it.
And people are talking about this all day. I mean, it's all over the web.
But, Michael, it's relatable. It's relatable.
Well, here's the deal. First of all, Dan, you're describing me as somebody filthy. I took a shower before I got to the ballpark. It's not filthy behind my ears.
What do you want, a medal because you took a shower before you went to work?
I would like a medal. They did not bring me a stir, and I agree with Dan. I would rather have a spoon anyway. But if I just put my finger in and stirred it, my finger's dirtier than the arm of my glasses. And then during the game, I also, guy who watches every Yankee game, Brian Gumbel, interviewed presidents,
I heard
ministers.
You couldn't name drop Brian Gumbel fast enough when he texted you.
Every single morning, he says he stirs his coffee with his eyeglass arm.
Well, as Brian Gumbel would say in this instance,
if I had to do it again, I'd do it again and again and again. I have nothing that I'm ashamed of. Nothing.
Well, listen, because you're a shameless individual.
True.
But I mean, I trust my glasses. I just wouldn't use even my own glasses in that situation.
Are you that dirty behind the ear?
I'm fanatically clean. Anybody that knows me would know that. Fanatically clean. I just don't trust the air around me, whatever environment the glasses might be in, the case you're putting them in. You never know.
Do you then lick off the arm of the glasses when you're done with it?
Oh
no, I kind of cleaned it with my fingers, and then as I said, it dried on my fingers.
Do you ever catch yourself? Do you ever have a habit?
By the way, that's crap. I don't buy that. You just let it sit there and air dry on your fingers.
Do you ever find yourself
you wipe that thing somewhere?
Putting the glasses in your mouth at any point during the game, like the arm of the glasses, like even for a second, like one of those things? No,
because I think that's much too Alistair Cook. I'm not that elegant.
With a smoking jacket or something.
Right, exactly. I'm not that guy. I'm thinking I have to go here. If you're watching on YouTube, it would be like
riddle me this.
Well, Michael, as Brian Gumbel might say, let's move on.
Well, you know what? You just stole my open. That was the first 20 minutes. I've got to redo the whole show.
No. I'm sorry.
No.
New audience. New audience is always turning over.
Really?
I'm surprised that you weren't texting me, destroying me on my performance in 1988 Yankees. Just a terrible job.
After yesterday, it was embarrassing. And listen, Dan knows the stuff better than you, so I think you should discontinue the segment.
I was there to be had today, Michael. I was
throwing out so many obscure Yankees, and I was so proud of myself, thinking I got this, and they were all guys who were not there in '88. It somehow escaped me that Dale Mahorsic was an '88 Yankee, even though I had the name on the tip of my tongue. Should I say it? Should I not? I don't know if he was there in '88. The whole thing had me questioning myself.
Do you know what's amazing about you, though, Chris? I would never endeavor to do something like this because you're just going to expose yourself if you don't know it.
Well, Michael, I've exposed myself many times.
But that's what makes the show. This is the show. This is the show.
Yeah, this is the show, Jerry.
Yep. This is the show.
He's got a big-time show coming up next. He is the great Michael Kay on ESPN New York and the ESPN New York YouTube channel.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized